They drew first blood. He will draw last. Kaboom! I'm Derek.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Jack.
I'm Ben.
And this is Bad Movies,
Worst people.
Yeah, in the trailer, they had that line, and it was followed by the explosion across the field.
Boom.
So
I like it.
yeah,
That was,
kaboom.
I like this movie.
That was a good. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, did you like it?
Yeah, I just
but
like.
you didn't watch 1, 2, 3, or 4.
This is my first Rambo.
What a weird thing to do. Now
Yeah?
he's got to go back and treat the other ones like prequels.
I don't have to
think
watch
he
them.
needs to like go in order.
I don't-
5, 4, 3, 2,
I
1.
don't think I liked this one enough to be like, who is this man?
I know,
I
but you're
will-
watching like the end of his fucking life.
I liked it.
Well, what I will say is, if the action movie thing isn't your thing, at least go back and watch the first one. Do yourself
Yeah,
a favor.
that one is beautiful.
Because it's a
Okay.
very different movie. It's a good film. It's not necessarily like an action movie.
yeah, he's
Yes,
just like,
there's
it's
action.
about like
It's dramatic.
yeah,
it's about
It's
the
suspense.
mistreatment of veterans and how we shouldn't treat. We shouldn't act like pieces of shit the way we
And
do, and all
If
this
this
stuff.
is your thing, you get to see a redhead dude get butt punched.
Yes.
Yeah,
Dude.
Maybe
I
stabbed.
I swear
stabbed
it goes
in
in his
stabbed in
taint.
the cheek.
I mean, I don't think Rambo would stab
Not
a
the
ginger
face
in the
cheek.
taint. I like to imagine he wouldn't stab gingers in the taint.
what you think he likes gingers?
No, I think he
No
just
one
doesn't
does.
want to stab us in the taint.
Okay,
Then you get ginger blood on you.
good
That's
job.
how you
You just
get. That's
punch
how
a
you get.
ginger in the butt.
That's how you get
Gingivitis.
gingivitis. Exactly.
I didn't.
That's
wanna,
what we call a ginger
I was
snap.
like, please.
Ginger snatch.
Oh shit.
That's how you create a ginger snatch.
He didn't have a ginger snatch. Now he does. So this movie that we're discussing today is the conclusion of Rambothon.
Boop, boop, boop.
Rambo: Last Blood from 2019, rated R again.
Yeah.
And apparently he put on his Instagram or Twitter or some shit like celebrating the fact that he's like, hey, we got our hard R, guys. I was like, yeah, you definitely got your hard
Dude,
R.
he went, this movie gets hard R. Harder than the other ones, kind of.
I mean,
Okay.
There's the least amount of
Too
deaths
hard.
in this movie.
But it's the most intimate
But it's the
death.
most-
it is
yeah.
not the least amount of deaths.
It is.
Number
Well,
one-
besides number
number
one.
one, yeah.
Unless you
Got him.
talk about the 50 some odd he
God,
killed in Vietnam, which they refer to in number one.
No, that's a prequel.
Okay.
That's a pre-make.
But as far as the Rambos and not First Blood, yes, the least amount of deaths.
She's
Yeah.
playing semantics and she wins.
Thank you.
Yeah, any movie
Point
titled
for
Rambo.
Satan.
This
Yeah.
has the least amount of deaths.
But each one is so brutal and just like in your face and up close.
I
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
Hey, and you know what? Fuck these guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Fuck those, dude. Those are the worst guys.
I mean, they set it up pretty well. Like, hey, there's no mercy here, and you're
Yeah.
happy there's no mercy.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
There's two people that didn't get comeuppance in my mind: the little fucking friend, Giselle,
Yeah.
and the
Fuck
dad.
her.
Both of those two should have got. The dad should have gotten just at least a Rambo bear paw
I
across
swear
the face.
he was there. I swear he was at
One of the
the
guys
end.
kind of looked like him, but he wasn't chubby
Yeah.
enough.
I don't
Okay.
think so.
Yeah, there was a guy who had a very
I think
similar
he's out of
face
this
and stuff,
movie.
but no, yeah, they just forgot he existed.
Yeah. Because I
Rambo
heard you
6?
guys say, like, oh, it's going to come back to this.
Yeah.
He did it because of this reason. And I had to kind of bite my lip. Like, no, he's done.
Yeah,
He gone.
they didn't care. That was
He's
just
got
a
his own
reason to get
family
her to
now.
Mexico.
He's got
And
his own
Giselle can go
family.
suck
And he
a
can
tailpipe.
care about
Yeah,
them. Maybe.
absolutely.
I hope Giselle's dead.
IRL or like,
Well, whatever.
Well, the character.
no, the character.
I hate the character so much. I hope the actress dies.
Good acting. Good.
Well, you always hear
on
about
you.
that with people like fucking what's his name that quit acting from Game of Thrones, Joffrey.
Joffrey.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And
The
then
dude, the Jar Jar guy, also.
Jar Jar.
He
Well,
quit.
for a different reason though.
Well, he quit for a while, but it was the same thing. People hated him so
That's
much
just Star
because
Wars
of being
fans
Jar Jar. Yeah.
assholes. But the guy that was the governor in The Walking Dead, I don't know
Okay.
how far you watched into that series.
Yeah,
but
I saw that.
The guy that played the governor said people walk up to him in the street and just be like, I fucking hate you. And it's like, well, that's a good actor. But he took it. He's like, I know I'm doing well if people don't like me.
Yeah.
Well, the guy in Rambo 3, the fucking bureaucrat guy, he was saying the one that was like
Oh, yeah.
abort and all
Uh-huh.
that. He
Charles
was saying
Napier.
after the movie for like a couple years, people were like, "Why are you such an asshole?" Like,
Wait, Rambo
why-
3,
right?
2.
Two, yes,
Yes,
two.
two.
You're correct.
I know we watched a lot. We watched a
In a
lot of
short amount
Rambo
of time.
this last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think it's been 2 weeks, 5 Rambos. That's
Yeah.
a lot of Rambo.
It's
That's
a lot of Rambos.
Rambo.
Yeah.
But
gotta take
he
your
was
Rambo in
saying that people
doses.
would like spit on him and be like, "I can't believe you'd be that mean to Rambo."
That's just a fetish he has.
He didn't mention that he was paying those people.
oh, true.
People would say things like, "How dare you? How dare you be mean to Rambo?" And also, your credit card got declined, so I can't spit on you right now. If you want to pay me in cash.
So this movie is a glorious 89 minutes.
Ooh,
And
another
if you want
little
to,
snack.
not count the recap at the end for the credits,
For 9 minutes.
that's about 10 minutes. So that would make this movie just under 80 minutes.
yeah.
You got time for this.
And also, so there's an extended cut, which I was this close to watching. Like I was so close to getting it because I don't have the Blu-ray. I have is the original cut. The extended cut is on Amazon for $3.99.
I have AMC Plus.
Well, I have AMC Plus, and I looked at AMC Plus, and what I saw was the regular cut.
Oh, okay.
Unless
The
I
interwebs had
didn't
told
find
me-
it, like.
The interwebs had said it's on there, and I
Okay.
would have definitely watched that last
But
night.
it's 101 minutes, and the big difference is there's some like storm at the beginning, and he like rescues some girl or something. I don't know.
that fruits to nothing.
Yeah, so I think
Just to
that's why
show
it
that
got
he's
cut.
just to show that he's still Johnny
good
Help him.
Samaritan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was better doing it this way. So
Ooh,
they
he did a
because
movie
they
called
start
Samaritan.
with him on the ranch, which is how we ended the last movie. He's going to his dad's ranch. We start with him on the ranch, wrangling horses and stuff. So it
still
starts
think-
like all the other 3. Well, not 2, I guess. So yeah, like just 3 and 4, where he's like peaceful,
Yeah.
trying to just live his life.
I mean, he's fairly peaceful in 2. He at least he's like I know where. In number 2 starts with him as a prisoner in a rock quarry for people that don't remember.
Ben.
And for Ben.
Yeah.
But he even says like I know my place here.
Yeah.
I know what I mean. Like so he may not be. He may not be at peace, but he's peaceful.
Yeah.
He's okay with what he's doing.
He knows where
My
he stands.
question is, do you think this is his own personal ranch?
This
'Cause
is
he
in
seems
real life.
real comfortable.
Oh, okay.
No,
Probably
I don't
not.
think so. I
'Cause
mean, not
it-
before filming it. Maybe
Because
now.
Sylvester Stallone doesn't live in Spain or Portugal, wherever this takes
He
place,
vacations there.
or is filmed.
Oh, he vacation.
It takes place in Arizona, but as a
Technically.
group of people from Arizona, this
Yeah.
is very clearly not
It
Arizona.
took minutes. Like I
Like
mean,
this
seconds.
could, I mean, it could be like northern Arizona because we don't have the Soros and stuff. But Bowie, Arizona, is about an hour that way.
Yeah.
Nobody can see where I'm pointing. but-
how fast he can drive across the
way.
border?
yeah,
Yeah.
he's
To
not in
Mexico?
northern
Yeah,
Arizona.
You're
He's
not
like-
in northern Arizona, pal.
Dude,
Not happening. We've all made that drive.
he did it multiple times in the movie too.
Yeah.
And it's such a terrible drive with nothing to see. He's ridiculous. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I got detained leaving
He's just
Mexico
so
because I have
committed.
no like bad record. They just did not believe. It was like 30 minutes.
You Gingers can't be
you looked
bad
like
people?
you do.
Because I look like trouble, I guess, is what
Okay.
they're saying. And I mean, I did. This is before I had all this hair, so I was shaved head with a beard.
Oh.
And they just did not believe. They're like, dude, you have no record. That's not normal. I was like, here's my driver's license. This is what I have for you. And they let me go after a good couple smooches.
I think.
What did you have to suck?
I got sucked.
Oh,
I think we
He
may
paid a
have,
$5 for it.
I think we may have told this story on the podcast before, but we were coming back from Mexico with some people, and one of the guys in our group, and it was late at night. And one of the guys in our group was from
You
Yeah, you were
have
there.
told this before. From Germany?
when we went down with the people from Tombstone.
Is this when you were
Oh,
with?
yeah.
Yeah, the guy
German
that
dude?
was from
the Bosnia.
Bosnia.
Bosnia. Yeah, you have said this.
So we were coming back. I don't know if I told you, man. I'll go do it
I
real
don't.
quick. We were coming back, and
Cliff
the
notes.
guy is asking all of our IDs and stuff, and they get to the last guy, and he's like, "Okay, where are you from, and where are you heading?" And the guy just goes, "Bosnia." And this dude just hasn't looked at any of us so far, and he just stops and looks up real slow, like, "Oh fuck, it's like midnight. I don't
now
want to deal
I
with
have
this."
to do work.
Yeah.
Also,
just
one of the
wave you
guys in our
through.
group, that guy got right through because he got his paperwork. One of the other guys in the group got detained for a minute, and they asked him some questions and shit. And all we could see was when they pulled his ID up on the
Big
computer,
red flag.
lots of red came up on this computer screen, and he's like, "Yeah, I may have been arrested at this border crossing before."
Oh man.
That same night, we also
would have been useful yesterday.
That same night, we also got guns pulled on us by the
Yeah.
Border Patrol because Google Maps sent us in. Like we were heading down to this crossing in Naco, and Google Maps had us go down. Apparently, it's been changed that we can't go the way we went, which is now the exit for the border station.
Oh,
so we were
shit.
basically trying to drive into Mexico out through the outdoor.
Yeah.
And like we pulled up, and these guys came out, guns drawn.
Oh yeah.
Glaring. And I'm just like,
What a night you had.
Yeah,
I'm
and
like,
we were
"No."
just like, Google said to do it.
Oh, it's fine. That's
Oh,
fine.
and they
Turn
were
around.
like, yeah, no, that we get that a lot. Go back and turn onto that shady dirt road you passed.
yeah, the shady one.
I was like, we're just looking for the gay 90s bar. Which is the name of a bar, guys. Don't come at me.
Yeah, no, you're not being descriptive. You're being quite literal in the name of this bar.
Anyway, speaking of Mexico, Rambo 5. I almost said
segue.
Rambo 3. Jesus, Rambo 5.
That's because I said that
See
earlier.
what
Yeah,
you started?
I know.
So directed by Adrian Grunberg.
It's Adrian.
Adrian Grunberg.
A couple episodes of Narcos.
Yeah, he directed some Narcos.
Very fitting for this movie.
He wrote and directed Get the Gringo with Mel Gibson.
Yeah,
Which they
I
say
saw-
in this movie, Get the Gringo.
I saw
so-
half of that.
They did say that.
He also
They
directed
did.
a movie that's coming out this year, or may have already come out. It looks like a shark movie called The Black Demon, and it's got a giant black shark. It's
Okay.
pretty cool.
I won't
But
be
most of
watching
his
that.
stuff is assistant director stuff. He did
probably will.
Apocalypto. He was AD or like second unit on Apocalypto and Edge of Darkness, both Mel Gibson movies, Narcos, The Notebook.
Oh,
So he's got range.
so it's
He did
right
The
in that
Notebook?
wheelhouse.
Well, he's an AD on The Notebook.
Oh,
So
assistant director?
yeah.
Okay. Look at me learning.
Hey.
Yay.
So this picture also written by Sylvester Stallone, and then another guy, kind of.
Which I feel like that other guy is doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Probably.
I
Well,
feel
so
like
what
he
happens?
writes it and Rambo's just Rambo.
Rambo himself.
I'm not doing that. I'm not saying that.
Well-
I'm
Rambo
not
wouldn't do
wearing
that.
So there was a version of this written to be Rambo 4 by a guy named Dan Gordon.
Okay.
And it was Rambo 4 : Borderline, in which it's the same story. Basically, he has to go to Mexico to save
Hence
like a
Borderline.
daughter of a friend who's been kidnapped for human trafficking, etc. Except for in some turn of events, Sheriff Teasel is the main villain, and he's trying to get revenge against Rambo.
He got demoted to like Border Patrol or ship, not even demoted. He just got transferred over to Border Patrol in
Yeah.
Arizona
I
now.
like
and then
that.
and they also he said in the original script for this there was too much over the top action, not like turning your hat backwards
I
and
was
arm
gonna say-
wrestling, but
You know where I'm going. He's
over the
solid in my
top
eyes.
action. And so he toned it down. So this just became, instead of an action movie, it became a horror movie.
Dude, you
Became
said
like
something about like Friday the
Taken.
13th. There's a lot of Final Destination.
Yes, there is.
Oh, my favorite
Even
review.
some Caddyshack.
What do
my
we call
favorite
it, Home Alone
review-
13?
My favorite review on Letterboxd is from a guy, and that's what he said. He's like, I really enjoyed this. He gave it 1 star, but he's like, I really enjoyed the latest installment in the Friday the 13th franchise or something like
One
that.
star?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
It's better.
It's
than
worth more than 1
Yeah.
star.
Yeah. I mean, the CG blood hurts some of the stars, but
Yeah. Oh, I'm not trying to give it 5.
it gets more than 1 for being less than 90 minutes.
Yep. Right off the top.
And
you're
it gets
getting that.
it gets more than 1 for doing dual and not just relying both on CG. Like you get
Oh, yeah.
actual.
Oh, yeah, you got a blend.
You get. There's bad blends, but
There was real explosions.
there was real explosions.
Oh, they
a
blew
real
that
explosion.
farm up.
Yes,
yeah.
they did.
Except for those fucking Dark Knight Rises ground collapsing things that happened there.
See, that's the bad. That's the bad part now.
But you
that
can't
now you're
appreciate
taking
the
away
good.
a star.
Right? You can't appreciate the way. Wow. Rewind. You can't appreciate the good without having the bad.
Yeah, but I don't want the bad to be in the same movie. Is the problem? I want the bad to be a movie I
Semantics.
watched the other day.
Yeah, the Black Demon.
Yeah, I want. Yeah, thank you. I want the bad to be the Black Demon and the good to be Rambo 5.
I got you. Yeah.
So this movie was nominated for a few little things. Like, it was actually nominated for awards that were like good things.
Best knife work.
But it didn't win any of those.
Biggest knife.
But it was nominated for some Razzies, and Razzies don't mean shit because it's just a bunch of like basement dwellers talking shit. But
Bunch of
I wrote 2 of them
trolls.
down because they're very funny.
Okay.
So it won the Razzie for worst reckless disregard of human life and public property.
Wait, what's the public property he's
Right?
messing up?
I don't know.
I mean, that's his land. He can do what
He
he wants
fucks
on
some
his
shit
damn
up in
land.
Mexico, doesn't he?
No?
Just people.
Just
okay.
people, I think.
He drives over that fence. I guess that's about
Oh.
it.
That
there
is,
it is.
dude.
That's what it is. That barbed
But
wire.
I think this was a category,
gotta
so
be.
I don't know who else was in there.
That $10 of barbed wire is irreplaceable.
So they just cooped everything in that
Yeah,
one
so there were
category?
other movies
Okay.
under this category too. So
Gotcha.
those probably had more public destruction. And then it was nominated but didn't win for worst on-screen combo, which was Sylvester Stallone and his impotent rage.
Wow. I mean,
I think it makes a great combo.
Yeah.
but like
He
he's
needs
been,
that to survive.
I do understand why they said impotent though, because he is almost holding back a little bit until that very end.
Yeah.
But I've seen
Well-
him be more aggressive.
I mean, even at the very end, he's still just. There's a part in this when he's giving his like the Rambo speech that you would see in the other ones, and it is just him whispering.
Yeah.
It's like, man, this is we've come a long way since that first fucking speech in First Blood.
I
Yeah.
think to him
know.
the whispering was like
Dramatic.
Dramatic.
I think he
yeah.
had a sore throat, and he's like, all right, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put it that I got to whisper because like, everyone's looking for me.
See when I whisper.
His voice, the impersonation we've been doing to him doesn't even work for this one anymore because he's a monster.
He is a monster.
And he's got
It's just
like
more
a-
like this.
It's much more. He's more a
Putting on the
Frankenstein's
Ritz.
monster over here, dude.
I mean, he's never really had a lot of lines. He's always
This is the
been-
most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the one where he
Well, this
talks
is the more like
most.
personal drama, quote unquote, of the movies, right? So-
I-
Do you want to
feel
do what
that.
we did last time, where you just give a quick summary? then
yeah,
you just talk
I'll
shit?
do a
Okay,
quick
let's do
summary
that.
real
I
quick.
like
So we have to go a little less point by point, right? So Rambo is living on a ranch, taking care of horses, living with some lady and her granddaughter, who he considers family.
We get almost no explanation
Yeah.
about this, so
Yeah.
Which doesn't
the
matter.
fact
Your
that
guess
you
is
don't
as
know
good as
it,
ours.
yeah.
The granddaughter goes to Mexico to find her father, who abandoned her when she was young. She gets kidnapped by human traffickers, and Rambo has to go to Mexico to try to save her. He makes things worse, and then he comes
Oh,
home.
Boy, does he!
He ends up saving her. Well, he ends up getting her out of there. She dies. He goes home, sets a bunch of booby traps, turns his house into the murder version of the Home Alone
tunnels
house.
that he had been digging.
Oh yeah, he's already been digging these tunnels for funsies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For a
And then,
decade.
and then he basically leads these cartel guys to follow him back to Bowie, Arizona, where he proceeds to murder
How
all
does
of
he
them.
lead them?
Well, we'll get there, but I'm just saying this is my quick summary.
Yeah, no, that's Cliff Notes. That's like
That's a
if there
fun
was
one,
if
though.
there was another college podcast that was trying to cheat off of Derek's paperwork, this is what he gave him for their podcast. All right, dude, look, I got Cliff Notes for Rambo 5. All right?
Yeah, I mean, this is basically like Taken or
Which I
it's
believe
not
I
Rambo.
quoted.
I mean,
It's a mixture of a lot of things
Yeah.
that aren't Rambo.
Yeah,
Because it's mostly on American soil.
yeah.
I mean, he still is killing non-white people, so that's a thing.
I mean,
But-
they're
He's- okay,
technically
not
white.
just non-white. He's killing non-American.
On paper, they're white.
Yeah.
Non-American citizens.
He's killing
They are,
non-American.
Presumably.
they are Mexican.
There could be some dual
Technically.
citizenships in there. We don't know their way of life.
Well, I mean, how are you going to do business in America if you're not
You
a dual
are the
citizen?
cartel.
They're the cartel. They don't need licenses.
Cartel her about
So
it.
in this movie,
And not the drug cartel. They're
sex
traffickers.
traffickers.
Well,
well, no,
I
they
think,
are. I think they are cartel. Like they
Yeah.
are drug cartel. Also,
I think we only see
the
one
cartel
facet
just
of
also
this.
Oh,
traffics
okay.
in human flesh.
I thought you could only do
It's a
one
different
thing
kind
in
of
that
drug,
union.
man.
No, I don't think cartels are specialists. It's like, oh, that's the gun cartel. I
That's
think
the cousin.
I think you dabble. You got a lot of thumbs and a lot of pies here if you're a cartel person.
I have a very
I'm
special
pie.
set of skills.
I definitely,
particular set of skills.
I definitely did quote Taken at one point during this movie.
Oh yeah,
Well, that's what it feels like. It's like Taken. It's a revenge flick. Like you kidnap my daughter, but it's not his daughter.
mixed
It's
with
the only thing he's ever loved.
Yeah.
mixed with a little bit of nothing but trouble.
Oh,
Like
did he read the script?
these cartel people, they trespass, and old Rambo sets them on a trap, and they are stuck in this whorehouse, this madhouse.
I can't wait till we talk about that.
So this movie, I think I mentioned already, has the least amount of kills other than number one. He only kills 46 people on screen. But that brings,
Man.
let's celebrate this total, guys.
It feels like more though, because how brutal they are.
Well, and it's all packed into the last 20 minutes. I mean, there's like, what, 8 maybe before, and
Yeah.
then like the rest of it's in that last
Yeah,
20 minutes.
whatever's in that house.
So 493 total on-screen kills for John James Rambo, which I found out is what the J stands for.
Oh, James. Okay.
Yes, not John
JJ.
Jacob Jingleheimer.
Is it John
Rambo.
That's
Jimmy
what I was
and not a
thinking,
Jimmy
too.
John?
That's why he joined the army. He got tired of people saying
Yeah,
his name.
it's Johnny James instead of Jimmy Johns. But yeah, John J. Rambo has killed 493 people on screen. And if you include his Vietnam kills, he has murdered 552 people in real life. In total.
Nice.
Now, if you're not counting Vietnam, this whole thing started in 81.
Yes.
So 81 to 2019.
Yes.
Okay.
So I mean, not shabby. That's over 100 a decade.
Yeah. He's got a good average there.
This is the only one that kind of falls out of the happening in real time, only because I think it took a little while for the movie to come out.
Yeah.
Because they mentioned it's 2018, but the movie came out in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Every other one takes place at the exact time it takes place within their timeline. So, but
They tried.
It's fun. He still kills a lot of people.
It took extra time to get that, CG in there.
Oh, yeah. There was some new budding technology he was waiting on.
Yeah.
So we get like fucking George Lucas. Well, I couldn't make the prequels yet because the technology wasn't there.
I saw some new explosions that we could add in digitally that would look really nice.
I needed to make Rambo's horse shinier.
Oh, he called it the bald face. I've heard it called the ghost faced horse.
Ghostface sounds doper.
Ghostface
I feel
Killer
like
Horse.
that's how they
Ghostface
call it
Killer Horse.
in
I'd watch
Yellowstone.
that movie.
Ghostface Horse is just a rapper from BoJack Horseman. You know what I mean? So he comes in. He's training the horses. He comes in. I only have this little moment because he comes in to meet Maria. I don't know if they really even mention her name, but Maria is the character. She's played by Adriana Barraza, who I know from Drag Me to Hell. The character's name was Sean Sandina. She's the medium or whatever that does the seance.
Madam Seance, we'll call her.
And he comes in to meet her, and she says "Buenos dias." And I loved it in perfect Stallonese. He's like "Buenos dias." Because we make fun of his voice, but he talks a lot clearer than we do when we're doing his voice. But this "Buenos dias" is the worst "Buenos dias" I've ever. It's literally just.
I think I would rather if I sounded like that when I did it, I'd just rather not do it. Yeah. Respect to your language. I can't nail that.
I live in Arizona, so I know Spanish.
I will say, if you're like us and you have to watch with subtitles, because I'm old.
I'm usually eating.
Well, that too. Subtitles. How much did they match up with what they're speaking in Spanish?
The subtitles for the Spanish are included in the movie, though.
Oh,
because those were on the screen. Those are like stylized.
Yeah, that's not whatever closed captioning.
Yeah, it's not the closed captioning.
Okay,
but that's
so that part.
But to
that
your
was
point,
bad.
so I'm not fluent in Spanish, but I know enough curse words and words to get along. That's like that's not what
casa?
you said.
We all know casa is house,
Chingo
not
tu madre.
barn.
We all know chingo tu madre.
We all know that one.
Come on now.
But
fuck your mother.
Yeah.
And that is not what the subtitles
That's
say.
not what it said. I don't know why.
Bitch is your mother? I don't not.
So we're introduced to his tunnels, which is the main character in this movie.
Yes, it is.
John Rambo has just been digging tunnels underneath his ranch in his free time for fun, and like they literally explain it when is it Gabriella or Gabrielle?
Yeah, it's Gabriella.
Because he said Gabrielle through most of the movie.
Well, he says Gabby or Gabby or Gabriella.
I heard him say Gabri, and I was
I'm
like,
calling
that's
her
not
Gabby.
right.
Maria calls her Gabriella.
Okay. So
He calls her Gabrielle.
When Gabriella is showing her friends the tunnels, because he tells her to bring her friends over for a party. I love
they're
it, by the
scared
way.
of you.
What a weird thing to say too. Show your friends the tunnels.
That's all we got going on over here.
What else do we have here? We have tunnels.
We don't have a TV.
Well, he's trying to not have her go somewhere else,
Show 'em the
right?
tunnels.
And she's like, "Well, I don't want to bring my friends here for the party because you freaked him out." And he's like, "Well, why did I do that?" She's like, "You kept staring at them." Well, sometimes I do that. I don't mean to. That's that 1,000-yard stare.
That's his
You gotta
1,000-yard
understand.
stare. He can't control that.
But these tunnels he's building because, and that's what she tells her friends. He just does it because he likes to dig and he's a little crazy. And he's like, well, kind of.
I think it's all a metaphor for him just keeping his past down there.
What is it? Keeping a lid on
Keeping
it?
a lid on it. He says it.
Yeah,
Like,
and I
I'm
mean,
not better.
You know, he spent a lot of time in POW camp, and he's been in a lot
That's
of
what
tunnels
he
in these
knows.
movies.
He knows to dig tunnels.
If he's digging them, it's something he can control.
Gabriella, by the way, is played by a girl named Yvette Monreal, who I recognized, and I couldn't figure out why. Nobody here will know except for Whitney. She plays Wildcat on Stargirl on the CW.
Oh, is that really her?
Wait,
the
isn't
knockoff
Wildcat
Batman.
a dude though?
But on Stargirl,
On
Wildcat's
Stargirl,
a
I don't
girl.
know. On the
Okay.
CW stuff, it's all swapped.
Well, because I saw
'Cause
Wildcat
CW's
'Cause
fucking
on
woke,
Arrow.
man.
They found
Is
all
this
the
his
stuff.
daughter?
No, they found all the. Yes, I think it is related.
Oh
'cause
yes,
it all has
I
to
think
be
that's what it is
blood-related.
because in Stargirl, not that matters because it's not that good. But in Stargirl, they're all like the children. Most of them are like the children of like other former
Gotcha.
Justice Society heroes
yeah, the
and
Justice
stuff.
Society.
So, but yeah, so she plays Wildcat on there. That's the only thing that I knew
She's
her from.
absolutely
Always
beautiful.
changing all of my superheroes, man. Even knockoff hockey mask wearing dudes used to be dudes. Now they're chicks. Come
No,
on.
I just-
you can't
I-
be a superhero if you got tits.
What is this, a DCU?
Oh. But
DCEU.
The DCEU? Shut up.
but I think they did a great job casting this girl. She's definitely got that girl next door, wholehearted, big
Oh, she's,
doe-eyed
yeah, no,
face.
she's lovely.
Well,
She
yeah.
is
They have a very pretty girl to make you feel even worse for her when all this terrible shit
Yes,
happens to
and
her.
They,
like-
they dress her in a way where it's like she's not. Her friend Giselle, who we'll get to, is dressed very
Like Chola.
very
Like
chola.
Yeah.
This young lady's wearing like kind of like the more overalls,
Overall
the fringe,
dress.
Yeah, like the
yeah,
frilly
the
flowers.
flowers, like very farm girl
Yeah.
kind of thing. So it's like, oh, she don't know no better.
She's just wholehearted
She's
horse
just
girl.
a bad baby.
She just wants to meet a daddy.
Oh, and when he's going through the tunnels, by the
Meet
way,
your daddy.
meet your daddy.
Go get your daddy.
Hey, girl, go up there and get your daddy. No,
Oh God.
and she does. Gross.
She got.
She got.
So
She
we
got
do
so
see
got.
we do see his underground forge, which I took note of because it seems incredibly unsafe to have like an open flame
We
in
talked in
underground
previous episodes.
tunnels.
That's how you crack rock.
Yeah,
Not
you
crack
crack.
rocks.
That's how you crack rock. Also, though, like all the fumes and like
It
the
did have a-
There's
off-gassing.
vents.
He had a hood.
Oh, did he?
He had a
Yeah.
hood, but I
Okay.
mean, I don't know. It's
He
still
was
not the
smart.
safest thing.
He's got
But
these
isn't
secret
it
tunnels,
because
and there's
it's
just
underground?
smoke coming out of a tube in the
Yeah.
ground.
I think
Yeah,
he's
well,
right
not if
over
he's
there
not
where that
making some
smoke is
shit.
billowing
He's
out
not
of the ground.
forging
Guess
while
what?
enemies are around.
He's not over where the smoke is. You need to go through these tunnels to get to him.
And
It's
you're
'cause
never
it's-
gonna find
No,
him.
you're not, because when the thing explodes, you get a quick glimpse at it, and it looks like an ant farm tilted sideways.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is. It's an ant farm on its side.
Yes, and you're just like, holy fuck, where did all these tunnels come from?
It's a massive network of tunnels. Like
It is.
and I mean, I get it. I
Get it
guess
mapped
years,
out.
man.
he's taking his time. That's what he's doing to keep the lid on his like crazy or whatever. But like, where's all this dirt?
Well, it's a ranch, so
Yeah, but
anywhere else.
I don't see any
You can-
piles.
You don't have to pile
He
it.
spread it out evenly.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
it's
just
not-
put it in the back of that
He
truck,
doesn't
open
want
the
to show
tailgate, and drive
evidence
fast.
of like construction.
I guess he took all that dirt and he made the bricks out of it that he built the forge out of.
There you go.
I
There we
mean,
go.
there you go.
All right, done. I solved my own
solved
problem.
your own. Asked and answered.
So he gives her, or he goes to give her this gift. Oh,
No. Go ahead. We're talking
he
about
goes
letter
to give her
opener.
this gift, and it's this Damascus steel knife. That's
Letter
he's like,
opener.
it's a letter opener, and I'm gonna make this handle, and you can put it on your desk at school. And she's like,
It'll look so good.
he's like, people don't write letters anymore.
Strangely enough, like he's banging on some metal and like quenching it in the oil and whatnot. She's like, "What are you making?" And that's when he goes to the letter opener and shows her pieces that he's not working on.
Yeah. What are you making?
What are you working
don't
on?
Worry about
this.
that.
No, you're not. You are not making that. Liar.
What are you working on? I just make knives a lot.
Yeah, you know it's not safe. A senile old fucking war veteran with an underground forge making knives.
You can see it in his eyes too.
he is-
Oh, those eyes are so old.
I love Sly Stone, but
I
he's
do.
monstrous in this.
He is his face is smushed, more smushed than ever.
Yeah.
And like on the DVD or the Blu-ray menu, he's holding up a knife, and his arms are just. I mean, it's monstrous. That's the best
horror.
word.
It's a horror version of Popeye's forearm.
Yeah, this
is.
is
What you
this.
saw.
You know who could play Sylvester Stallone? Kane Hodder, like the guy that played Jason in most of the
Oh,
movies.
yeah.
Like
Okay.
Yeah,
a
I mean,
giant fucking monster of a man.
Well,
Like I
I mean,
said,
all he
love
did
him.
was cut things, right?
Although Kane Hodder would probably have to walk on his knees to be Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone's not short, but Kane Hodder, I mean,
No,
Jason's a
like-
big fucking guy.
Sly's like what 5'10", I want to say.
I don't know. I've never stood next to him.
I would say he's about 5'10".
I'd be afraid to stand next to him.
Yeah.
I probably weigh more than him. So come at me, bro.
No.
How many knives do you have on you right now?
5.
Oh, he's got more than that.
He's got
Those
more
are
than that on
rookie
one leg.
numbers.
He actually has a knife that makes another knife.
I want one of those.
This knife shoots out knives. So
a
yeah, she's trying to tell him how she wants to go to Mexico to meet her dad because her friend found him and
But your
all
dad's a
this
piece of
stuff.
shit.
And yeah, he's basically telling her he's a piece of shit. And he, her grandma tells her about how like Rambo had to stop her dad from beating the shit out of her mom with a belt and all this stuff.
Real
and
quality
While she was
person.
pregnant with her.
Is that what he said? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
we're doubling down on fuck this guy.
Yeah. And there's this great thing. She's like, he's trying to tell her how the world is terrible, and she's like, the world is different than my world's different than your world. And he's like, no, it isn't. It's worse.
That
Which is different.
That is different, John. You don't even fucking hear yourself, do you? All you hear is the clanking of metal while you're making your precious knives.
He's
So
a craftsman.
she agrees not to go, but then she goes anyway, right?
Before we leave, you do get a view of pretty much every knife that's been in a Rambo movie.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it is. I joked on one of the previous episodes about how it was number 4, how that old knife's out of work now because it's not in that one, and now it's back. All its little baby knives are back. Like this is the movie that all knives want to be in.
So what did you say, Ben? She's driving away in her little Honda.
Oh, she's leaving on her own
Yeah,
accord.
she left in her own accord.
In her own accord.
It's a Honda Accord.
It was a Honda Civic she was
It was a
driving,
Honda Civic,
but
it
Same
was a
thing.
Honda.
Damn it.
I'm
She
not a
was
car.
just-
people.
She was deciding her life herself.
Oh,
you know, she's
and-
taking everything into her own hands and going to Mexico because she needs to get her daddy.
Needs to find her daddy.
I did make a
Find your
comment.
daddy.
What does he do? Say.
I did make a comment because he is talking to Maria. He's like, I need to go find her and da 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 da. And I was like, he's gonna get her dead or alive. Not seeing the movie.
Oh, that's once they find out she hasn't come back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's not.
you're right,
Yeah,
sorry.
but
Without seeing the
doesn't matter.
movie.
But there was a great when she gets to Mexico. There's a great background thing that everybody noticed, which was like these Mexican Backstreet Boys, or as we were calling them, 36 degrees.
Celsius.
Because
Oh man, I wish I could sing "I Want It That Way" in Spanish right now,
Oh, pause. Google it.
real quick.
Google Translate says it's. And
Oh,
you
that'd
actually
be
just,
so bad. too.
Chinga tu madre.
Tell me why, chinga tu madre.
Tell me why.
And we meet Giselle now, who is her old friend, who her mom said is a piece of shit. Also,
I'm glad she left.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I need to
She's-
say that was not even 98 degrees.
it doesn't matter.
No, I was doing Backstreet because
Yes.
that's what he initially said.
Yeah, but that's what we first said, and then somebody said 98
Also,
degrees.
on a side
98
note,
degrees.
I can't sing a 98 degree song.
I don't
I don't
know
know
one.
one.
I don't know, Nick Lachey,
Nick Lachey.
something.
That's all I know.
Yeah.
I could not make
Shay,
that
shay,
98
shay. I think that's one of
Shay's a
theirs.
fool.
So she's like this Chola girl, and she's obviously bad right off the bat, right? Because Gabriella shows up and she's like, "Hey, do you want something to drink?" She's like, "No," and she's like, "Well, I do," and gets a beer.
Well,
and
let's
the
get to
first
the
thing
more-
she asks her is, "You still a virgin?"
Oh, okay. I thought that was before the beer, but
Yeah,
either way,
either way, it's
the
Either
first
way.
2 things you do are try and get her a beer and ask if she's a virgin.
Are
Yeah.
you still a virgin?
Are you still a virgin?
So was she just like priming her at that point? Like, oh, are you a
No, like,
virgin?
well, no, she.
Oh, you
yes.
know what? Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe.
it was.
Like,
it was
I don't think
foreshadowing.
these fucking dudes matter at all. Or,
Yeah,
it's like-
I don't
she-
think these guys care if you're a virgin at all.
No,
maybe
they
you can get more
probably
money.
do. Like,
Well,
yeah, no,
you
it's
can
like
charge
I bet,
extra to that
No,
first
I bet
guy.
she gets like commission.
But
and
you're
shit.
still taking her either way.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they're getting.
I don't
But
think it
she's
matters.
untainted. Like,
But when she asked if she's still a virgin, she looked at her funny and she goes, "Oh, what am I? It's a joke. It's probably all dusty and hot up there anyway." Talking about the where you live or her vagina?
yeah.
it's all
My
dusty and hot.
God.
Some fucking just there's
Not-
sand in
Yeah,
there.
it's just a very
Ew.
weird conversation that they have. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, this is your old friend, and she's just like, "Why are you such a stuck-up bitch?" Like,
Yeah.
basically.
I
don't
see
know.
you looking at me.
Yeah, you looking
I
at
see
my
you
house?
Looking at my house. She's like, "It's a nice house, huh?" She's like, "It's all right."
It's a nice house, huh?
fine.
I can literally
Sure.
see through the wall to outside, but
Yeah, it's called a window.
no, I meant.
I know. I'm being an asshole.
Oh, I could
She's
do
got
that too in
windows
my
on her
house.
house.
And they have this
brag.
like they have this tight shot on this bracelet that she's wearing, which comes back around. So.
Oh, it's a quick one too,
Yeah.
though. Like,
but
it
if
does
they
not
do it
linger.
And
out
the
of
chick-
nowhere, and it's like
Giselle's eyes like flicker to it, and then that's what pans to the.
But it's a blink and you miss it.
yeah.
yeah. So
We
she meets her dad and basically asks him, like, the dad obviously never told his new woman about, I don't know if it's his wife or whatever, about his previous family, because she's like, "Who the fuck's this bitch coming to our
I'll
house
tell you
looking
later.
for you?"
I want to be there for that conversation.
And she's asking him basically, "Why did you leave?" And this is a good bit of cinematography.
Oh my
Whitney
gosh.
pointed out
It was
there.
beautiful.
The guy steps forward into this like blue light, because she asked him why did you leave, and he has this like hard swallow, like, oh man, it's gonna be rough,
And it's
he
lit
decides
fairly,
to be a
fairly
dick.
brightly at first when
Yeah.
she asks him that.
Yeah, in his house that's bright, and he steps into this dim blue light, and he's basically like, I realized you and your mom don't mean anything to me, and your mom died and left me with you, and I didn't fucking want you in the first place, so I just left.
Just fucking leave.
There's being an asshole, and then there's being this asshole.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't have to come back.
Yeah, but I mean, you could just say like, look, dude, I didn't love you and your mom. I'm sorry I left. Bye. And then close the door. This guy's like, you know what? I want to make this shit sting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I
Man.
took it as maybe he was mixed up with like bad people and he just didn't want them to get to him via her.
Yeah, and I
And
thought maybe it
maybe
was going to
deleted
come
s-
around to her finding out that it was something else, whatever.
No.
We don't know.
Maybe a deleted scene, but no, I think it was just like, hey, this guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
Move on.
The show's on the road.
The show
This guy is the worst guy.
Move on,
Rambo
people. You've
hates
seen
him.
enough here.
Dude, imagine if Rambo hated you.
No, thank you.
No,
Dude,
thank you.
it's like he has
I've
to be
seen
the
what
worst
happens when
fucking
Rambo
guy.
hates you.
Yeah.
Nine
Yeah.
Donka.
I don't need to be eviscerated, thank you. So
If
her
you're
friend,
lucky.
her friend decides to take her out to this nightclub to quote unquote help her and make her feel better, but she just like sells her to this cartel, basically.
Dude, he drops him what looks like a lethal dose of roofie.
It looks like four
It was like-
roofies
I don't know how to
broken up.
roofie somebody, thank God, but this looks like you're gonna kill them on accident.
Yeah,
She would have to not look at that drink for like 2 minutes for all that shit to dissolve.
Yeah, all those chunks.
I was like,
Is this
it was
my
just,
water?
It was
I
all
got you
just
a
like
champagne
chunk.
instead.
yeah. They
Here.
just throw in some like crushed up Alka-Seltzer into the champagne.
Yeah,
It's
it was
just
just
foaming
like,
all
what
over.
the fuck? What the
Why's my
fuck
drink
is
so bubbly?
Yeah,
Bubbly.
I ordered a cocktail.
So then they find out, Rambo finds out that she's missing because Giselle calls and says, hey, she never came home from her dad's house, and then immediately changes her story when Rambo gets there.
Yeah.
And he does this like angry drive down to Mexico, and he's just popping pills, which we have to assume are like for PTSD or for
Antipsychotics.
Yeah.
Okay, look, it's something I hate in movies. It's if it's like a pain med, that's fine. But I hate when they put the bottle to their mouth and just start chugging. I'm like, that's a very calculated medication, sir. You can't.
He's feeling
he
extra
wasn't
psychotic.
chugging.
Yeah.
He wasn't chugging it. He like put it to his mouth because he's driving, and he like his lips were closed, and you saw one go in.
Oh, I didn't see one go in.
I don't know, but either way, I mean, he's feeling extra psychotic, so
They
I
were
need an
probably
extra
Tic
dose.
Tacs.
Maybe
And
I
he
put my
couldn't,
Tic Tacs
dude.
in
On the
old
one shot
vegetables.
they got, he couldn't help himself.
You know what? I'll tell you what. He's too tough for that. They're gonna be Altoids. I would have feeling bad. You know, the Tic Tacs are like almost kind
chews
of
'em.
nice.
He
I chew Altoids.
he
Ooh, he
chews
is tough.
Altoid.
And I mean, I guess it kind of leads around to like why he's extra crazy, because when he gets beat up here or whatever happens, he loses his pills. So like he's
He
mad
throws
already.
him- yeah,
He
he throws
threw
him
him
down.
down.
Oh, he goes and visits the dad.
Oh,
and
yeah.
after he fucking, as Ben said, imagine Rambo being mad at you.
Dude, imagine if Rambo did not like you.
The way he slammed on this door, I
Dude,
wanted.
there were
handprints
claw marks,
left.
bro.
Yeah.
There were claw marks.
Yeah,
on
the
this
dad,
dude.
when he's like, where she's not here, and basically his response is, I should have broken your neck 10 years ago.
Whoop-ah!
You piece of
Slam on the
shit
door.
motherfucker.
Woo! I mean, it terrified me. Also, a little aroused.
A little
Not gonna
bit.
lie.
I don't think we saw the woman there when Rambo visited the dad.
Nope.
No.
But you could hear a
He
baby
already
crying
beat
in the
her
background.
in the back, so that's why the baby.
No,
was
she's the
crying.
smartest character in the fucking
Was that the
movie.
baby crying,
She-
or was that her crying?
She saw Rambo and was like, I'm staying in here.
Yeah, it's like
I
I'll be in
can't
the
help
living
him.
room.
Yeah,
I
he
don't know
knocked
what
on the
he
door
did.
and she looked through the peephole and was like,
She starts calling fucking life insurance. Can I get a quick policy, like right now, like sight unseen, hurry? Is this another Rambo case? It's another Rambo case.
And we do see at some point here the human trafficker people. They have all these women, and the guy
girls.
Victor.
Let's be real honest.
Yeah, girls.
They're girls.
They're young.
Yeah.
These two brothers, the Martinez brothers, Victor and Hugo, and I believe this one's Victor.
Yeah.
Who's like basically telling him like, hey, you try to run away, I'll fucking kill you. Like, you belong to me, whatever.
It's like, we will find you.
He's got one on like literally a leash and
And
a
his
collar,
whole
calling
speech-
them all dogs.
Yeah, his whole speech is like, I like dogs, but if you run away, I'll fucking kill that dog.
Well, he keeps saying perros, but then the subtitles say bitch, which
Well,
I'm assuming is
Perro is male
dog,
dog.
yeah,
Perra
so-
is female dog.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
mean, I guess, but I feel like there's got to be another word for bitch.
There is.
Yeah.
There
But I
is.
guess he's using the dog version to
exactly.
make it
it's
more
not the
demeaning.
slang version.
Isn't it
It's
pinche?
it's
Right.
almost like
It's-
the difference like of us saying this is gonna get harsh, Ben. I hope you can handle this. It's the difference between bitch and cunt.
Ooh.
Okay.
In English, you know.
Okay.
He's using female bitch. He's not calling them cunts.
Yeah, he's using.
Are you
dog.
okay? Did that
I mean, it hurt.
Okay.
Why? What are you asking? What do you mean?
So then Rambo questions Giselle. And she says she doesn't know where he is or where she is, and she has the bracelet, and he's like, she wouldn't have given it to you. That's her mama's.
What's her mom's bracelet?
And
rougher.
oh, dude, when she tells him "fuck you, get out of here," and he just fucking stabs this 18-foot long knife. I don't know what the fuck this thing was.
I can actually tell you the measurements because I watched the video. It's 10.5. It's a 10.5-inch blade.
And
this
it's
knife
called
is
what now?
called the Heart Stopper.
The Heart Stopper,
And the little back end that we're going to see used is called the Skull Crusher.
and it's available for $185.
About $195. If you order by tomorrow, recording, free shipping. Happy 4th.
America.
Knife,
Fuck
yeah.
yeah.
So she takes him to the club and finds the guy and points him out, and he tells her basically, fuck off, and she fucks off right out of the
And
movie.
she fucks right off the movie, dude.
Yep.
I wanted some sort of. I know Rambo's not going to kill a presumably 18 to 19-year-old girl out of nowhere, but I was hoping maybe, I don't know, the cartel might kill her. Like if she ran and was like, hey, there's this guy looking, asking about stuff, and they're like, well, shouldn't have ratted. Boom.
Yeah.
That's what I want from her. That's what happened in my mind.
Yeah.
That's what just happened.
And he gets followed by, he's following the Victor, and then he gets followed by this girl, Carmen Delgado, who's a journalist, who comes to basically nothing. I mean, she helps him find where she tells him where she gets him after he gets beat up and rehabilitates
That's
him.
the big thing she does.
And she tells him where the sex trafficking place is.
He
and that's
specifically
it.
wants, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't really do anything.
She's a
Google Maps.
journalist. She's trying to
Yeah,
catch.
that's what's missing
She
from
was
this.
trying to catch like a lower level guy.
She's trying to catch a predator.
She was trying to catch. No, she was trying to catch the guy that he fought in the truck, and that wasn't even like a big guy. He just like got the girls.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, that's right. It wasn't
true.
even Victor that he was following. It was just some
No,
dude.
she was following that
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 whose
dude that
name we don't know because he's in and
he
out.
was no. they
Yeah,
were-
but how does he get out?
he wasn't the El Flaco.
he follows him out to his truck,
Yeah, he's
and
the
like
headhunter.
he's about to hook up with this chick in the back of his truck, and like
So sexy.
dude, he
Oh boy.
Rambo
Oh yeah, it
fucking
was cool.
knife punches this dude in the face with that skull crusher.
No,
thing.
right here on the
in his chest.
Yeah,
Clavicle.
On
his
his chest.
Yeah,
and then stabs him in the leg, and then just gouges his clavicle out of his chest, like breaking the,
first
bones
time
and
I'm
pulling it
watching
out with
I'm
his
like,
hands.
wait, where did that wound come from? He didn't get shot. He didn't get stabbed up there. No, the fucking back of this knife.
force
It was
of the
such a
knife.
force.
See, I didn't even get that he made the hole. I thought he just dug into this dude's
He
chest.
did.
like
No, that,
fucking
no, that
Kali
was
Ma
first with the
style.
back of the knife. The
So he made it into like a puncture with the back of the knife.
Really?
And then dug
Oh,
into
yeah.
that. I thought he just dug
Really?
into this guy's flesh
Dude,
with
I
his hand.
thought he just thumbed his way into this
No,
guy.
I mean, he does thumb his way in.
Yes,
but
Dude, I thought he
yeah,
just full
somebody else
thumbed it.
breached that skin first.
Okay.
Mr. Skull Crusher.
And so this guy leads him to the place, and we get like this girl.
Wait, can we go back over the fact though? Like, not only does he thumb it, he starts pulling the fucking bone out.
Yeah,
Yes, he
no,
does.
he literally snaps the clavicle with his fingers.
And he
like,
says,
yanks
"Tell
it
me,
out.
or I'll talk to me, or I'll break this off."
Yeah.
Oh.
And as Ben said, he's not going to cooperate now.
Dude, he can't even fucking breathe right now. He's in that guy is in so much pain. I'm like, how is he going to tell you anything?
As soon as they get there, he gets punched and knocked out. I'm like, I think that he would have been passed out from pain.
Yeah, like,
alone.
dude, the shock.
Tell me
alone.
where he is. Oh, nope, he's out.
Like he was
Okay,
about to,
I'll wait.
dude. His
bleeding out
his
anyway.
dick wasn't even hard yet.
Oh, well, that's because of the cocaine.
All I'm saying is they were getting it on,
About to.
and he got like a knife right to the fucking throat.
That
almost.
erection was gone the second Rambo turned him around.
This is brutal, though. Like, the reason I wanted to go back to it is because in a movie of brutal, this isn't a kill, but in a movie of brutality, this is up there.
Yeah, it was
This is
bad.
fucking up there.
And it focuses on it.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
before the bone popped out, I was like, is that pus? Or is
You
that
can
fatty?
see his bone marrow.
Yes.
that
They
was
put
so
detail
gross.
in that.
Yeah,
It was so gross.
and I wasn't.
And he
CG.
just plopped
Yeah.
his ass right on the
Yeah, that
passenger
wasn't
seat.
CG. Star.
Yeah. But yeah, so they're back at the human trafficking place. Just a quick thing, just to show how bad this place is, I guess. Which I mean, I think we all know. But this girl comes down and she's yelling at all of them, and she's like, "You're just gonna do your fucking job, even if it means 40 or 50 men a day." And I
So
was just
what?
like, "Oof,
Yeah.
oof."
That's a lot-
Like,
that's a
I
lot of
don't have a
dicks.
vagina.
Does
And
that
I've
even
never had
match in
sex
math?
like that. But like,
What do you mean? It just depends on like what if you're like the baddest bitch?
well, I think sometimes it's more than one at a time.
That's all I'm.
Okay.
It sounds
Maybe
bad.
she's dealing in extremities though. She's like extremes. She's like, that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
like,
if it's
you're
40
like
or 50, that's what you do.
you're like the youngest one.
yeah,
Who
they're
knows?
gonna want you.
I don't think she's saying 40's your average. I hope not.
You just have to be mentally prepared.
But,
But
if it is,
I still think that she used to be one of those girls,
oh yeah,
and now she's
No.
like, you know what? Do it.
We call
I
that
survived.
we call that the bottom bitch.
yeah.
Yeah,
Now she's the top bitch. She's the top bottom.
that's what Ben calls it in his line of work.
Bartending ain't easy.
Dude, I don't hardly work.
So he's going to this like party cocaine house to get these guys. Like the guy let him there, and as he's like trying to sneak up, people are seeing him all the way up because they've got eyes on the rooftops of all these
Rambo
buildings.
should know better. I know he's in Mexico and he's never fought a war over there, but you should know better.
But they have his
right?
daughter.
And this movie wouldn't have
You can't
happened
kill everywhere.
if this was a real story because these guys surround him and he confronts them and they beat the shit out of him and they're like, nope, let him live. They wouldn't have let him
The
live.
one brother, the
One
Victor.
acid
Well,
Yeah,
poison.
he's like, throw him in the fucking acid. Done.
Yeah.
That's it. But the other brother, whose name escapes me, but Jon Snow.
Yeah.
John
This dude
Snow.
looks
Yeah,
like
his name's Hugo.
Looks like John. Oh, Hugo. So
Hugo
Hugo Snow.
Hugo Snow.
Yeah, he's like, no, fuck that. We're gonna let him live. And great fucking villain speech. He's like, these aren't even people to me. They're things. They don't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have
Now-
never paid any attention to
Now.
her, and now I will.
Because
Now
you
she's gonna
coming here,
be
Cabron,
an example.
Very bad for
They
her.
call this is the only time they say Rambo in the movie. By the way, is when the guy looks at his ID and he says Juanito Rambo,
Juanito Rambo.
little John Rambo.
Yep.
Well, little girl.
Well, little John. It's Juanito.
Little John.
No, he says Juanita.
No, he says Juanito.
The first time he says Juanita.
Well, the first time he says John. He
First
reads
time
it
he
off.
says
He reads it
John
off the ID.
Rambo.
He reads
John
it. He says John
Rambo.
Rambo, and then he goes
Rambo.
Juanita, and everybody's like, "Oh, because he's a little bitch," and then called him Juanito.
They put a hurt on this guy.
Yeah,
They
he's
beat
like
his
now,
ass.
now we'll make an example out of her.
They took
and
his
cut-
guns. They surrounded him and then they took his guns.
They took his gun. They took his knife. They cut the one brother cuts a V into his cheek and says he's going to go do it to her too. That's his mark.
Oh, who's thinking about killing you? I just want to leave a little Z on your forehead. Sorry, fear and loathing.
And they leave him alive. And then Carmen. By the way, one of the people in this group, some like 70-year-old
the
dude
plain
in a
old
farmer's
man.
hat.
With the hat, red and white hat.
Everybody else is like
Baseball
pretty
cap.
menacing cartel. And there's this guy like, hey, what are we doing tonight, guys?
Yeah.
Let's get into some trouble.
He's like,
Farmer.
I only hang out in the large groups because it's easy to like kick a guy when he's down. in a
yeah,
large
get
group
him,
of
guys.
people.
We showed him. Dude, you barely fucking kicked him.
I mean, there were so many guys. You'd be lucky to get a hit on Rambo.
He's like, well, my gout is flaring up.
There was
today."
the one guy that Rambo like grabbed and turned over on his back. Imagine being that guy. Like,
Oh.
dude, he put you on
Dude,
your
he
back.
got you.
You fucking dumb shit.
Dude, there were so many of us, and he got your ass.
Ugh. Got beat up by a 71-year-old or 81-year-old or 61-year-old. It's hard to tell. He's a monster.
He looks ridiculous.
by this newborn baby Frankenstein monster.
I think it's a crossover, man. It's Benjamin Button meets Dr. Frankenstein's monster.
Did he ever have a name?
Frankenstein's monster?
Yeah.
Just Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
Just Frankenstein's
That's
monster.
sad.
Sometimes
Hey, if someone makes
wait, isn't
you-
I Frankenstein? His name was like John Frankenstein or some
Yeah,
shit.
it's something fucking stupid
so,
like that.
yeah. There's
But that's still Dr. Frankenstein.
no Frankenstein's monster has a name.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Well, that's stupid.
I'm not gonna watch that movie
I
again.
think it was Victor. I think the doctor was Victor
Victor
Frankenstein. or something.
Frankenstein.
Well,
it's Frankenstein.
They told me it was pronounced Igor or Igor. Well, they're wrong then, weren't they?
Does your hump move? What
One
hump?
hump. But it would make sense that his last name would be Frankenstein if
Frankenstein.
he was the doctor's child. Like,
Yeah.
that was his baby. He made
His
this
creation.
thing happen. Yeah. Anyways, not Rambo.
Baby von Frankenstein. Carmen rescues him, like takes him back to her place. This doctor comes to help him, and like he mentions like how he can't be in light and stuff because of this concussion. And I was like, oh, that's gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
It's not.
He's gonna be sensitive to noise and lights. Okay.
Well, apparently he's not sensitive to noise because these explosions are pretty fucking loud.
Yes,
That's like
they
white
are.
noise to him.
So they're keeping Gabriella drugged up. Basically, they keep injecting her with shit, and presumably they're still like selling her out and stuff.
Yeah, they put her in some trashy little clothes, like that bra with all the lines on it.
This guy might be like a bad guy, but at least he cut her face after the heroin.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You know, like a little bit of redemption there. He's gonna have a nicer spot in hell.
Is he?
Nicer.
So
He's
a
gonna
little
get, like-
lower in
It's
the
like having the
rings?
best house in Yuma.
It's like having a pillow on your chair, but the room's on fire.
Yeah,
'Cause I wanna
this
say-
is fine.
I want to say like everybody's like, oh well, the 7th ring of hell or the 1st ring, whatever, the one that's higher up.
The worst
But,
one.
like, all the heat is up there, like right? Because heat rises.
It rises.
I don't know.
But you don't have the core of the flame up there. The white hot part's down at the bottom.
That's
Yeah.
true.
It's
I like
still
that.
warm.
I don't know how
It's like going to
religion
Mount
works.
Lemon.
Oh, in the middle of July or
Yeah,
August.
middle of July. Or
Look, it'll
August.
Yeah, you go
It'll
up
be
there and you're
90
like,
up
man,
there,
it's
but
so
it's better
nice up
than-
here.
I was
It's only
just there. It
90
was 78
degrees.
degrees. It was gorgeous.
It's nice out.
Like this,
Up.
what's her name?
It's nice up.
This girl Carmen basically tells him where the cartel or where the whorehouse is, at least that he can go
Yeah,
to.
because
Right?
her sister got taken.
Yes, her
Oh,
little
is that what it
sister.
was?
Her little
Okay.
sister got taken, and
and she didn't have a set of skills, so
she had
couldn't-
no
yeah.
particular set of skills. So
And
she
she died.
dead.
Didn't
Her only
she
set
say
of skills
after
was to
3
write
years?
an article.
I want to say she said something about 3 years and she died.
Okay.
That's a long fucking time.
Oh yeah. But maybe
Oh.
she tried to run away and they aged her up as well.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Jesus.
and I do like. She's like, "You can't go after them. Are you crazy?" And his response is just, "I'm not thinking about that."
Yeah.
So you're not thinking about that you're crazy?
He doesn't have to.
I put that on hold for a little bit.
He put a lid on it.
I put a lid on my.
I built some
my
tunnels.
Thoughts.
My lid is secure.
And he goes into this whorehouse and he gets in by asking if they have a young girl, which is creepy. But I mean,
But
it
I
works.
think that's kind of how he can. I mean, he knows where they are, but that shows
He knows
that
how
this is,
old she is.
This is what they do.
Yeah.
That's why
Like,
I was saying
you don't
earlier,
know
they're
how
girls,
long.
not women.
Dude.
And he does a great job hiding the side of his face with the mark.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if they were to see that, they would not let him
Oh
have a
fuck
girl.
no. I mean, I kept waiting for one of these guys to look like. Didn't we beat your ass up last night?
Yeah,
it's
but he
not-
doesn't
it-
give-
it's-
Or
it's
4
been a
days
few
ago.
days.
4 days ago,
Yeah,
we
They've
found
already
out.
beat many men.
But still,
He does not give them the time to ask though, because he
No.
walks in here with a hammer and just starts hammering people to death.
Yes, he
is
does.
hammer time.
Yes, it's hammer time.
Dude, he was untouchable.
He was untouchable.
He was
at that point.
untouchable.
He puts on his fucking parachute pants and smashes these dudes' heads to
It's like
pieces.
fucking Bob Vila in hell.
And he's just going through, just pummeling these dudes and he keeps telling the girls to leave, and they keep saying no because they're so scared. Until that
They're
last
trained.
guy he gets to, he doesn't kill that guy.
No, he hammers his dick.
Dude, he hammers that guy's dick and blood splatters on the wall.
Claw
Yes.
first. He's claw firsting hammering your dick. You know what? At that point,
Dude,
kill me.
he
Yes,
he
please.
was in his underwear.
Kill me.
That's the only one that didn't die.
Dude,
Because he's like, you're
you can
bad
bleed
enough.
out.
is a fate worse
You can bleed out from that.
You
Yes, you
could.
can.
If he gets your leg good enough with that, I mean, it's
Especially
really hard
that
to aim at
erection.
just a dick. Like if you're going
Not
claw,
for Rambo.
If you're going claw first, like you're getting the whole area.
You think he cut the dick off?
He,
Oh, God.
I mean, he didn't
if he
cut it
didn't,
off, he
if
gouged
he
it
didn't,
off.
you wouldn't want to
it's not
keep
there.
it.
Yeah, it's
What's
hanging on by a
left?
thread.
What's left
Yeah.
is not usable. Yeah, he's got like weird like H.P. Lovecraft tentacles.
We're
down there.
spending more time on this guy's dick than he will ever again.
Yeah.
So he finds Gabriella and takes her out, and Victor is all pissed off at Hugo and telling him, and Hugo's like, well, we'll go find him and we'll kill him. He's like, no, I don't want anything to do with this guy. Just fucking listen to me when I talk to you in the future.
So this movie could be over.
Yeah, so that's where you're like, he's like, I don't want to go after him. I don't care. So he has this very like quote emotional speech while he's talking to Gabriella while they're driving back to the border, and like
She's nodding off.
yeah,
at
she's
his
falling
dumb
asleep
stories.
because he's so boring.
and he used
he-
to be a good writer.
And what did Ben say? That's not what you should say it right now.
Yeah, you
Dude,
should.
yeah.
I know. You're talking about riding
You
horses.
are a great writer. You won 5 competitions in one day. She doesn't want to hear anything about writing, bro.
There was 40 to 50 competition.
Oh god.
Dude, and she won them all.
But he talks her to death, and she dies.
He
Literally.
talks. He talks.
Oh,
her-
is that in the body count?
Yeah. Did she add on?
I think it does. And like we get this long kind of thing in the middle. So like she dies, and they have a funeral, and Maria leaves, and she says she'll be sad until the day she dies, which makes sense.
Yeah, but that sucks.
Yeah. We get the Home Alone montage of like when Kevin McAllister's setting up like the paint cans, all that stuff. Except for this dude is like, he's got maps of the farm and he's like soldering shit. He's got piles of gunpowder. He's pouring gas
wires,
into shit.
spikes, knives.
Yeah, there's claymores.
Lifting
God.
bags
the
of
rebar.
sand.
He's just stashing guns around the fucking tunnels.
I gotta tell ya.
digging trenches.
I got to tell you, I love a gear up moment.
Yes, you
Fucking
do.
love this.
Yes.
This is gearing up your house. This is gearing up your tunnel.
He's like an A-team.
Gearing up your gear.
He's an A-team one-man wolf pack.
Yeah.
This is what John Wick did when he moved into his house.
Yeah. Well, no, John Wick thought he was done.
Yeah, but
thought
he
he
still
was-
hid all that shit in the basement just in case.
Yeah. John had his out and about a little bit more.
Rambo returns to Mexico, basically to trick these guys into following him back to his temple of death that he's constructed.
He killed Vito.
Well, that's what he's about to
to
do.
do.
That's
Yeah.
what he's
Right now.
coming to right
Yeah.
now.
But he
yeah.
has this epic finger quote speech, this epic speech
Oh, that was
about,
before. Oh, yeah. He wants
Yeah.
them to feel the rage.
and it's just this whisper talk the entire time
Yeah.
about wanting to kill them and hoping they die slowly. It's not. It's a far fucking cry from the Rambo that we saw at the very beginning.
He doesn't want to yell because he doesn't know
emotion.
which neighbors are in the cartel. So
And I think that's all because he has a sore throat this day. Like
Maybe.
he was the director. He's like, "Can we move this location to somewhere else, dude?" Like,
I started this new human growth hormone that I have to swallow, and it hurts my throat.
It's
called semen.
of pills, man.
Oh, speaking of, we've brought up Vin Diesel a couple times. I'm going to rewind to earlier in the movie at the nightclub scene. There was definitely a Mexican Vin Diesel at this nightclub.
Oh, was there? I
Yeah.
didn't
I
see
mean,
it.
isn't
I was too busy.
Nobody
he's
knows what Vin
Italian.
Diesel is.
Oh, okay.
He won't.
Italian,
He
that
won't
makes
tell
sense.
you what he is.
Ooh, it's
I mean,
the
it's
opposite
the
of Steven
Vin, but
Seagal.
Vin Diesel is not his name. So
No.
yeah,
his
it's
twin
it's a
brother
secret.
doesn't look anything like him?
I was too busy
have
looking
been
at the.
adopted.
They're twins like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito
Yeah.
are twins.
One of them's trash.
Yeah, five men put their semen in a cup, and then some lady dumped it in her vag or
Oh
something.
man, you shouldn't call her a cup.
5 men, 1 cup.
No, I didn't notice the Club Vin Diesel because I was too busy watching, as your wife was, the extra that couldn't figure out how to drink her drink with 2 straws in it. I mean, at one point she lifts it up and just looks at it. It's like, well, I guess I'll hold it in front of my face so I don't ruin the shot.
Smile.
Everyone else is still drinking. Okay.
Use
I'll
either
just be
straw
here.
or both straws.
Tell me. Well, because they went opposite directions.
They
The
did.
straws like made an X in her
Crisscross.
cup. So she's like, I don't know which one to choose.
She
so I
didn't want to do
won't.
that thing where she's like trying to get it with her mouth and it's like spinning around.
No, she straight up was like,
Hey, that's a sexy move, girl. Lets me know you're awkward but trying. My favorite.
So he stabs a guy in the throat.
Blink and you miss it, but he stabs a guy in the throat.
Yes, Rambo stabs a guy in the throat.
Now, when
and
you
he-
say, Derek, describe this, because you say stabs in the
Bro,
throat, you might think like a
yeah.
little knife going like,
No,
nope.
this guy is standing there, and this knife goes through the side of his neck and out the other side.
Yeah, it
and he
does.
turns around, and then Rambo stabs him in the gut like 6 more times.
oh,
Yeah,
is
he does.
ducking these
Yes.
things.
He was angry.
Yeah,
Wrath.
he uses his baby
was-
knives
he
from
was the
Rambo
rat.
2.
Rambo 2, yeah.
His little throwing knives.
These big knives that were,
I was
their
excited to
parents
see
were the
them.
knife from Rambo 2, and then their mom was the knife from Rambo 3.
And all I can really do to describe the rest of this sequence is so much stabbing. He is just knifing like 6 or 7 different guys to
Didn't
death.
bring a gun.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
He's trying to be silent. He's sneaking in, and then he gets into Victor's bedroom, and Victor's
he's
in
in
the
the
shower.
shower.
Yeah, so
He's
we're
in
all
the
like,
shower.
Splish splash, I was taking a bath. Just some hardcore cartel guy.
Oh,
Rambo cut my head off with a knife.
Oh, man, I kind of wanted to see this kill.
Yeah.
But
it's disappointing it happened off camera,
We
but
have
you
a
know.
lot of brutality.
we
Yeah,
do. We
but there's
see
more
what was
than
left
enough.
behind.
More than enough says
After.
you and your weak
After.
stomach.
There was a,
Dude, it
a
was so gross.
there was a fun fact I read on the internet that there were alternate versions of the kills for both Victor and Hugo.
Ooh.
And the Victor kill, also apparently there was some point where instead of doing what he does, which is cut his head off and leave him in the bed for everybody to find, a la fucking
Like-
Godfather.
Tight, but he's tied up like almost like a marionette.
Yeah.
Did you notice that the what's her name? Gabby's picture is stabbed to his chest.
Yeah.
His chest.
And then, but the alternate version, apparently he like rips off his like skull and his spine. Like,
Oh,
pulls
he-
it off like fucking Kano.
I was gonna say Kano fatality.
Yeah.
He gave him the old Kano toasty.
But instead he decapitates him, and like there's this like police are there
There's a whole
investigating and stuff, and the
scene
cartel
in
is there and
front.
stuff. And as he's driving away, he just tosses this head out the window.
Yeah, and he's already on the highway.
Yeah, and this
in
is
between-
daylight. He's
yeah.
been driving for a couple hours
Good
with this
Foley
head.
work of this.
He just
fucking
got done
wet
looking
thumb.
at it, man.
Just splurch.
It's splurch. Splurch is what the subtitles should have said, Derek.
Dude, there was
They
still
might want to hire
Dude,
Derek.
he'd had that head for like to get on the highway,
Hours.
like how much blood is left in that head, and then it's just like. Blood.
Do you think he was
It
talking
just
He
like,
held
Oh,
it
definitely. That's what I was
upside
about to say.
Definitely.
He was sitting
He was
there just
talking
like,
to it, man.
I told you not to fuck with my family.
Yeah.
he probably said a lot before he killed him.
Do you think
He looked him
Never
right
mind,
in
I'll
his
keep that to
fucking
myself.
dead eyes and said, "You'll never be head of the cartel."
Like he has no backup too. Like there's just
Well,
nothing.
he definitely talked to him before he killed him because I think that's the implication of him being tied up is that Rambo got him while he was in the shower, tied him
Oh,
up,
yeah.
and like tortured him slowly while cutting off his head. And it wasn't just cut off; it wasn't like a slice, like a clean slice.
Like, it was
like
jagged.
shaved. Like he was like cutting upwards with the knife around his neck while he was still alive.
Like thin sliced pastrami.
yeah, it was fucked up.
it's not easy to do? I should know.
Oh yeah, you would know.
I would know.
Wait for pastrami
For
or cutting
5
off
years.
someone's head?
she's
Oh, I
she's
hope-
cut off heads for like 20 years.
I hope the
5
former.
years.
If you do cut somebody's head off, just make sure you drop it down a highway.
You know I will.
It's the safest place to
And I
put
would
it.
set
well,
the head
someone's gonna
upside
crush
down.
it, and then it'll be unrecognizable.
Well, no. You set the head upside down so nothing leaks. And then when you hang it out the window, you give it a little jolt so like the blood will fall down. And then you go,
Yeah,
See,
but have
I
you ever
would've-
thrown like water or anything out the car window? It just ends up on the side of your car.
I would have
Exactly.
pulled over and spiked it like a football,
ooh.
danced over it.
You said spiked it, and I thought like fucking Vlad the Impaler style. Like
Nope, I went with a different
Just
spike.
on the side of a highway on a stake.
Like I would have done it with so much like grandeur that an
Slam
NFL
it
ref
down.
would have come out of nowhere and give me a yellow, just thrown that yellow flag for
excessive
celebration.
celebration.
All right, son, we saw you. Now you're just rubbing it in.
You're just,
Throw
you
it down
already
on the
got
ground.
it.
and
15-yard
you
personal
wiggling
foul.
your knees.
Yeah,
and, like,
get those knees going. You can't use a prop to celebrate, son. That's a 15-yard personal foul.
Now put your truck in reverse.
We're over 40. We don't do anything with our knees anymore.
so they follow him back up to his house. I don't know how they all got through the border, cartel, I guess, whatever. And they are
Oh, they took
outfitted.
the area that he did earlier.
Just over the fence.
when he had Gabby, he just drove through a little like barbed wire fence. They knew.
Didn't they go through a tunnel? I swear there was a scene where they like opened some shed doors and were going down.
Oh,
and,
you
like-
know what they did?
Oh,
I thought that
maybe.
was them like
But how'd they get
gearing
the
up and
trucks there?
shit.
Yeah, no,
but
but
no,
they went through some
She's
secret
100%
tunnel.
but
correct.
how they
It
get all
was-
the
They
trucks
did.
there?
They had them waiting on American soil.
Okay, that's
That's
fair.
how they
Cartel.
keep trafficking
Cartel.
between
You got money?
Mexico and
Arizona.
Arizona.
No, I think you're 100% right.
I think.
Thank you.
I, think
I didn't
that did
notice that
happen.
that was
I did-
secret tunnels,
I
but
do think that happened.
Thank you.
So then they get to the house and they're outfitted like a black ops unit. They've got like
The
night
SWAT
vision
team,
and all
man.
this stuff. Yeah, SWAT team.
we've moved
kind of
into
thing.
Call of Duty at this point.
Yes, we have.
Somebody
And-
played a bunch because they had that gold skin unlocked for that AK-47.
Oh,
Yeah.
They had
did.
lasers on their shit.
How do those work? I know it's
It's magnets, yeah, but it's fine. And so the first thing that happens when they're driving on it, he like watches them drive up, and he hides right away. One of them runs over this mine, and it blows up this mine, which is great. And then it does this big fire. He dug this trench that he filled with explosives all the way across, I guess, to funnel them through one spot.
Yes.
It's to get
But
them out
it
of their
does
cars.
nothing else to anything. Like
But
it
that's
doesn't
the
blow
it's
up
to
another
get them
car.
to go in through
It was
one point.
It was a smoke screen.
But this
Yeah.
is the
You
point,
know?
though, is John Rambo could have killed all of you right then and there.
He let you
Movie
know.
over, revenge over, not personal enough.
Nope.
He took out that one car and made them all stop, so that way it's like, all right, dude, no more Mr. Knife Guy, except for now it is
Mr. Knife Guy.
One
And
of
that's
them.
a KN.
Only
Knife
one
Guy
of them.
stab last.
Only one of them gets into the house, and this guy gets hit with this bow, this like trebuchet that he has set up.
It's not even trebuchet's like the launcher. It's
Oh, what's the thing called?
ballista. It's like a
ballista.
small
Yeah, the other-
ballista, but still, it is a booby trap. Of what were we watching that didn't have booby traps?
I don't know.
Indiana
Ford.
Jones.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
booty traps.
Indiana Jones, the newest one, had no booby traps.
You made me sad.
Rambo should have been in charge of booby traps
Yeah.
in Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that dude gets blasted, and then Rambo just like snipes the other guy that's going in with him, and we get like, and so we see what we're gonna get because that head explodes when it gets shot.
There's nothing left. There's no dental records.
There is vapors of blood in the air.
You
at
want to
this
talk
point.
about an unrecognizable skull, Ben?
Dude, if we're gonna talk about that, there's a sawed-off bit. later on.
Oh, there definitely is.
Yeah, we'll talk about this whole. What's
Let's
your
just go
favorite
through
of
some of the
this?
fun
Yeah.
ones I had, like the gas sprinkler. The guy walks into the barn and there's
Oh,
like this
yeah.
sprinkler system set up that just sprays gas everywhere and
just
just
shoots the
blows the
gas.
shit
He
out
pops
of
up
the
like
barn.
Bugs Bunny because he went
like-
he went down one hole and he pops up another. Yoo-hoo!
I said whack-a-mole over here.
Looks like I took a wrong turn in Albuquerque.
looks like I took a right turn at Albuquerque. Like it is so fucking fun. I loved this.
I was there
part.
for it. This whole scene.
Everything.
Which
The
I don't
whole-
think you
The
liked
whole
very
revenge. Dude, I just didn't. Dude, I felt so sick after watching it.
Yeah, don't
It's
watch
a
number
lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, I was just
4.
like, what the fuck?
4. Don't watch number 4. That's right. I didn't watch 3.
Yeah.
Don't watch number
I was
4.
gonna say 3 is a lot of practical explosions, but not this.
4 is
Yeah.
rough.
I was like, everything else before was disgusting, and then it was just like, how about everything all at once?
I mean, you got people that
Yeah.
step on like there's a hole, and all of a sudden 2 boards on each side of your leg come and clamp you with nails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
And so a lot
It's
of these
it's
traps,
a sneaky bear trap.
a lot of these traps are the type of traps that the VC would use in Vietnam, which would be
Yeah,
why
these
he would
are
learn these. And they're
100%
not
meant
meant
for
to
killing.
kill. No, they're not meant to kill. They're meant to maim. And that's
yeah.
why he follows up all of these maiming things with blasting these dudes in the face.
Oh, yeah.
Like the guy gets hit with
Because they get
the
hurt,
spikes
they
that
make
shoot
noise.
out. Or there's the one that's up above and it swings down and the spikes go through the guy's shins and he's
Yeah.
like, ah! And Rambo comes up behind him and just blows his fucking head off. He makes sure that they feel pain before he blows their fucking
He
heads
has
off.
this double barrel sawed off shotgun
Dude.
that is just dismantling people's skulls.
Dude.
Yes.
I have a note here that says head mist.
That's
Yep.
dismantling a skull.
Yeah.
That's what you call that.
Yeah, it
No,
was just crazy.
There's definitely the one like
It was all
in,
point blank.
in First Blood, he did like the spikes where it only went into his thighs. And this one, he did the spikes, but it fell down. That shit went chest, heart,
Oh.
lungs, everything.
He would have bled out.
And then what does he do to this man? Blows his fucking head off.
Yeah.
That's to Derek's point. Like, yeah, I want you to feel it before you die.
Yeah.
This is not going to be easy.
It's not that. It's also like self-preservation. Like he's setting up all these traps because he has to live to get the last fucking guy.
Yeah. He
Which is
doesn't
why
want
he
to have
didn't
to
blow up the line of cars.
He can't, like he learned this shit. It's not. It probably wasn't like what he wanted to do. Like I bet if he
At this point, this is what he wanted.
Well, yeah, but like you have to like all of those kills have to be confirmed. Like you can't just fuck around in those tunnels just because you know them.
Oh, I
Wait,
get you.
no.
Yeah.
He'd be great at zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Like none of
Like-
these bodies are getting back up. Even
Like
one
they're
of the guys.
all armed. Like he's dealing with
Well,
everyone
he
is
knows
armed.
he knows he's not John Wick. He can't gunfight these guys
Yeah.
to death.
Right.
So he's got these traps to disable them, and then he
Yeah,
shoots
he,
them.
but
Not
just-
John
he
Wick,
just
he's
has
John
to
Bo.
live.
Yeah, he's not John Wick. He's John Rambo. Johns are all murderers.
There's one though where he has the double barrel shotgun. He shoots the guy, blood missed skull. Right.
Yeah.
Guy falls down. What's he do? He walks by him and puts the second round
Dude, yeah.
right in his back. Like, there's no getting up from that. No. I did like it though. It
He's
makes no
so
sense. But I
fucking
love it.
mad.
I believe I even said I was like, well, you guys let him live. He's not letting you live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he reloads this shotgun. By the way.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I was
what
about
does
to
he
say.
reload it with?
There are white bullets with X's on them, which we saw. He was putting that phosphorus shit in there. Woo!
Yeah, it lights these dudes on fire.
Oh.
Just lets them burn
shot,
to death.
He shot both barrels at them.
Yeah, he
that was
did.
fantastic.
And it got him like both in the back of the head.
Speaking of John Wick 4 uses that,
Oh yeah,
which is later.
yeah.
So
When he's in
copycat.
the house, right, from the
That-
top
that-
down
that
thing.
Really fun top down
Yeah.
view, like you're playing a fucking old video game.
Yeah.
And Keanu Reeves is my character. I loved it.
like
I
a twin
did.
stick.
Yeah.
And he's got the one. So we saw him like drilling holes and stuff. One of the guys, he's got just like a metal pipe, and he's waiting for this dude to walk by, and he shoves the pipe through this dude's head. And the other guy like backs up away from the hole, and he's got another hole dug at the ground, and he
knew
just
this would
machete
happen.
chops this guy's leg off. That's what I was
Yes, he
thinking. I was
does.
like, how ready was he?
He was so ready.
He knew that what he
But I
planned.
gotta-
How
it's 'cause, like-
ready
well-
was he?
It's more than planning like how you're going to attack them. It's how you're getting out of there because they know you're there now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, you're not wrong.
Like it's crazy.
I gotta say, because I hate when somebody holds. All right, there's a trope in movies where someone goes to look through a peephole, and all of a sudden they see the barrel of a gun, and like, how do you know they're looking? Like, how do you know that they're looking at that point? But you know what he does? He left a little bit of sunlight gap
Yes,
in
he did.
between.
Yeah.
He could see this dude looking. I loved it.
Yeah.
Because I hate when it's like, no, you're fucking just guessing.
You
Yeah,
are
like,
guessing.
And
You're
he was
filling
also
a hole
using a
with the
hollow
pipe.
pipe.
Yeah.
So I mean, even
Well,
if it
it's
wasn't
also-
that, you could
it's
see through.
It's not
the
just
pipe.
that
Was it
too.
hollow?
Like
It
Yes.
was.
if you give yourself like just enough for the pipe to fit through, like that's what you have. But if it's wider, you can follow this guy once he's there. You know?
I was happy to see that
Dude,
they
it was
actually
so
thought
sick.
of something like that.
Dude,
And
yeah.
They
Derek,
made it
that
very
pipe is only
realistic.
hollow so the blood can run through faster.
Oh,
That's it, just to drain that guy's brain
Well, it's
juice.
also like I bet it's like less force if it's like you push some to like inside the pipe.
Well,
you know?
I'll say from a piercing experience, because one of my many jobs was piercing, and to use like the post on your piercing, that's when it causes pressure and it's actually more painful. When you do an open thing, like you said, it's going to release all of that stuff out.
That's what he said. I said it's for blood.
Well, yeah, it's going to release the blood out,
Yeah.
but it goes in like fucking butter.
Yeah.
And it's just like, because you have no resistance.
Is that a new lube, fucking butter?
Yes. I branded
Fuck
it.
butter.
I haven't heard of that.
Fuck
Whitney's
butter from Bad
fuck
Movies,
butter.
Worst People.
Dude, if we
Keep
ever-
an eye out on our
If
merchandise
we ever have a
website.
Patreon, we're making fucking butter.
But yeah, no, like you said, there's no resistance. No resistance.
Yeah.
So it just
I fucking hate guard dogs.
Because it was like it's kind of like spreading your weight out on like ice. you
Yeah.
Like a
know?
polar bear.
Yeah, but you're just like surrounding the problem area. You know?
The problem area being this guy's face.
Yeah, this
want-
guy's
I
face.
want- Yes.
It was an issue, man. He
I want-
had his whole brain in there.
I want this Ben to be a coroner on a TV show, like a medical examiner on a TV show.
can
It'd
we
be
get you
amazing.
can we just put you through med school and
Yeah, I
or
can take
acting?
it.
oh,
That might be easier.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
cheaper.
Not great, man.
Cheaper,
I always wanted to be an Emmy.
harder, but
So-
cheaper. That's the way I say-
Oh, you
that's
wanted
why
to be
I
an
sell myself.
Emmy, an ME.
Yeah.
I heard it. I wanted to be an Emmy, and I was like,
I
that's
heard
an
the
award.
award as well.
No.
I also.
So
heard
The Emmy's
the
a
award.
Globe. You want to be an Oscar.
I can be an Emmy and then you could just read my notes.
I've always been a Tony myself.
I'm more of a Giuseppe.
You know what? I think everybody here is more of a Giuseppe. That's
You
why
know
we're
what?
here.
Here.
So one guy or two guys get disintegrated with a claymore, which is pretty
Ooh,
sweet.
yeah.
He's got it set on like the root. Was there
Oh,
three
is
of
it
them?
3?
It was 3 guys.
He's got it set on like
it
one of
was.
the wood things that's holding up the
beams.
tunnel, and I don't know if he pulls a thing down or whatever,
He
and it
did.
explodes downward. And these guys, you just see these bodies turn to powder and mist, and then just
Yep.
collapse to the ground.
Yeah.
And then maybe a
bottom
couple
halves.
kills later, we see another blood mist. He had put bullets in some sort of holes,
Yes.
like multiple bullets, multiple
Like
holes.
they got the hammers like on
feel
the
like they were
primer.
so
50
as he
cal
steps,
also.
set
no,
them
they
on the
look like,
primer.
They look like the 7.62s.
Oh,
but-
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
they weren't as big, but either way.
But it was like almost foot shaped.
As soon
too.
as soon as these people put their feet on the bullets, it presses that primer down and shoots
There's
that
no
bullet
waiting.
straight up.
That's
and
instant.
Now we get another blood mist.
And like you're all like in a situation like that, you're standing like as perfectly tall as you can.
yeah,
So like if it gets like if you're directly above it, it goes like all straight through you.
yeah, yeah. They
fucking
weren't
crazy.
polar bearing.
They're dude.
If they polar beared, they might have had a chance, Ben.
They had zero chance
They need-
against,
the cartel
against
needs
John
Ben there.
Rambo.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Here's where you polar bear. Here's where you don't polar bear.
If you polar bear when you're supposed to pizza, you're gonna,
You're
have,
gonna
a bad time.
We're
time.
bringing brooms so that we can look at traps on the ground.
Oh, see, that's what I would do.
We're gonna curl our way through this.
Just oh god, it's brutal. Just send some of those young girls through. Just like, all right, run the tunnel real quick, man. Set them traps off.
There's another good like overkill thing. He's got this deep spike pit with the rebar in the bottom and shit.
Yes.
And these guys fall in and they have spikes through their heads and everything.
Yeah, unlike
and
the
he
VC
steps
ones,
over the edge
these
of the
these are dead.
Yeah. He steps over the edge of the pit and then just fires his machine gun into there like fuck you
he
guys.
empties the clip on these guys.
No fucking zombies.
This is one of the worst moments of CG though, because like these bodies are on these spikes and like you only see it for a split second when he shoots them, but then when Victor or Hugo comes back here in a minute and looks at in the pit and the guys are just sitting there, they take like a shot of these guys laying on the pipe or on the spikes and it's just like, well, they're clearly not there.
Yeah.
Like it looks real bad, but
It's unnecessary. You could have just used the same, like a very similar shot.
yeah, he doesn't need to see that his people are dead. They're dead.
Yeah.
He's been calling them on the radio and hearing gunshots on the other end.
Which means that somebody was holding down the radio while we're taking damage. Boss needs to hear about this.
It could have been like just a rebar pressing the button.
Oh.
You know?
How
him being
dare you,
smart.
Ben? How dare you?
But, like,
somebody
yeah,
was
it's
showing
all
off to
they-
their boss.
Dude, but imagine like you catch that moment where like he's just firing over your guys. Like that was the only time he fired a machine gun in this.
There was
this
one guy
whole
in this movie that
thing.
watched his guy like in this tunnel, watched his partner get killed, and then tried to run away. I was like, that's the smartest guy. But then Trap hits him in the chest, and
Yeah.
Rambo shoots him in the head.
Just a
Well, didn't
log,
matter.
just a log wrapped in barbed wire or some shit.
It was like a metal punching, a boxing glove
Oh,
on a log.
yeah, it was like it was nuts.
And we have another really bad CG one, but it's fun anyway. It's this guy that sets off a trap, and it's the two like scythes or whatever.
It took us.
Oh,
It
yeah.
took us a rewind.
Yeah, we had to
to
rewind it
because
and watch it
it's
again.
Fast.
Yeah, and it's like scythes on the wall that like launch out and just chop into this guy's face, and you see the two like indentations in his face.
This is
from where the blades
This
went.
is better than a lot of like Nightmare on Elm Streets have been recently.
Yeah.
You know, as
Well,
far as
since
like
the
that-
first one, yeah.
But it doesn't go all the way through, so you
Oh,
know
the
that
second
body
one's
is
not
just
bad.
holding there.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
great.
It had a stopping point.
Yeah.
you know?
So the body is just like
So they're
forever.
holding him by his head now.
You gotta double tap that guy.
Yeah, I mean,
You're dead.
you can double tap him at the same time.
The trap he's
got
the
double
least
taps.
prepared for, though, is this next one where he's like, he pulls on a rope that he's got on the support beams to collapse the tunnel, but these guys see him as he's about to pull it, so
No,
he
here's
gets
what you
shot
do.
in the
No,
stomach.
what happens is he puts the bar in, and they hear that noise.
But
and
either
turn
way,
around and
he's
shoot.
fully exposed, is what I
Yeah.
mean. And he
Yeah,
gets
here's
shot
what you
in
do.
the
You
stomach.
add a little tiny mechanism you've been doing to all these traps.
All of them.
That keep you just around the corner, guy. Just out of bullet reach.
Or like you can like yank it forward, but they only see your arms.
Yeah,
and it's
sure.
just like
Take a gunshot to the hand, but he takes one to the what was that
Side,
left gut
torso.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he shuts the lights off while he's like, if Hugo's the last one left. I'm like, you should have done this all in
Oh,
the
we
dark.
didn't talk about the
No.
song.
Oh, that's right. During all of this,
He
it's
straight
playing
up
The Doors
Guardians
5 to
of the
1.
Galaxy's this.
Yeah. He starts playing 5 to 1, and one of the lines in there is no one gets out alive.
Yep. And it does flip at one point because now it's talking about the cartel. It says, they got the guns, we got the numbers. It's like, none of that's gonna matter though.
Yeah.
dude, he had a clear shot on him when he was looking
Like
at the
multiple
speaker.
times.
He had so many clear shots.
And
Well,
he says
he addresses that right
Yeah,
now.
he calls that out.
He's like, I could have killed you 10 times, but I wanted you last. And that's when the guy's like, fuck you. And he's like, no, fuck you, dead man.
Dude, that means he knew
I wanted,
every
like,
one of the
5
people
minutes.
he killed.
Yep.
Like he was like making sure they were not him.
Oh, when
He
you have that
counted
hairstyle,
numbers.
it's like, all right, well, I'll wait for that guy. There's Jon
Yeah.
Snow.
Yeah, I'll wait for Man Bun, fucking Senior Man Bun here to
Che Guevara.
Well,
Che Guevara. Is it Guevara?
Guevara. Yeah. He sets off this like end game thing though, where he collapses all the tunnels. And this is what I was talking about, that Dark Knight Rises thing, when they have the part in Dark Knight Rises where the football stadium
I gotta
collapses.
take away a star here.
Yeah, it looks really bad. The dirt collapsing. I'm like, you guys have blown up enough stuff. You built some tunnels. Like,
Yeah.
can you just not blow them up? They must not be. I mean, they're not real tunnels. Obviously, they're like, it's a set with
It's a
like
set
some
tunnel.
dirt glued
It's not
onto it.
nearly
but-
as big as
yeah.
it looks.
Yeah, but it does. It looks like a fucking ant farm. Just like it's all throughout his fucking
You
land.
see how big this
Yeah.
shit is.
It was beautiful.
But as Whitney pointed out, the house ain't touched.
Nope.
Nope.
Like I said, one guy got into the house and he got a fucking giant arrow through his chest.
He wish he
so-
didn't get in that house. Although quick death compared to a lot of his other ones.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Arrow to the mouth. That sounds fine.
Yeah.
And Rambo does get shot again here by Hugo at some point in the shoulder.
Because
so
he's like, follow me over here.
yeah.
like he calls himself out and like knows the path.
And Hugo escapes. We thought he got it looked like he got taken out by one of these
Yeah,
explosions.
I thought he got taken out by the explosions.
That would have been so dumb though if
He gave him
just
the
ended, it's
lights.
Like, oh
No.
shit.
Yeah.
He turned
I wanted
all
to
the lights
stab him.
off, but the lights that let him out.
But
That-
so when
that-
he turned the lights on, that's what detonated the
Yeah,
explosion
well,
of the
he
tunnel.
had a switch to detonate everything. He had everything wired, and so, but they wouldn't give us this moment where Hugo gets out and is like, "Oh shit, I made it!" And fucking here's Rambo waiting up on the top of the barn with his Rambo and his Rambo and
His
arrow,
Rambo and arrow.
and he crucifies this dude against the
Yeah.
side of the barn.
in the training montage, we saw him shoot 4 playing cards, like almost in the order of how he shoots this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and-
what's that card end on?
the ace.
Ace of Hearts.
Yep.
Yep.
Ace of Hearts, yeah. So he crucifies this guy, and he tells him when he's talking to him over the radio, when he's saying like, I could have killed you, whatever.
I'm going to.
He's
rip
like,
your
I
heart
want
out."
you to know what it feels. You rip my heart out, and I want you to know what that feels like. And then right here, he's like, this is what. Sorry, this is what it feels like. And he just fucking cuts into this guy's chest, and it's slow and
Carving
long,
like a
and
crispy
you can
prime
hear
rib.
you can hear bone crunching. And he
Yeah.
reaches in and just fucking Kali Ma pulls this guy's beating heart out of his chest and shows it to him.
And then he
I wanted
does.
him to take a bite.
I did.
Just a little
I
nibble,
really
you
did want
monster
him
man.
to go. "Arr."
And it is kind of a
Yeah.
black heart because this
It
guy's
was
evil.
Blackheart.
Yeah. But now that's done. That's fucking awesome.
Yep.
And he's holding
Two gunshot wounds.
2 gunshot wounds, and he limps up to this fucking
To his
beautiful porch.
Yeah.
Lovely little rocking chair. We all wish we had one. And you think, man, wouldn't it be great if it just like his speech he's giving about holding on, shouldn't it just the rocking chair stop rocking?
Yes, that's what I
Yeah.
was waiting for.
Boom.
It would have been
Credits
so
roll
much
up.
better if he died,
Yes.
but I think like I said when we were talking about it before, I think he had a lot of fun making it or something because he had said this was the last movie.
Yeah.
And then afterwards he's like, well, unless this does well, then maybe we'll do another one. Because they do kind of end it like that because he's got his speech and one of the lines the one that's supposed to be bringing you back to like the first movie is where he's like I tried to come home but I never really arrived, you know.
Yeah.
And like
does do
you
the
know
whole
all the
thing.
ones I loved are now ghosts and this and that, and then like it just fades out with him in the rocking chair and you're like, okay, he died on this porch.
Which is beautiful.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
Until we get a montage for the last 10 minutes of this movie during the credits of all the movies that we just watched.
Yep. 1, 2, 3.
Most
and 4.
of the film
And
footage
5.
was from First Blood. It really jumped through 2, 3, and 4 a lot. Like in 4 it was like he's at the beginning getting snakes and then he's fucking
he fished with a bow and
Behind-
arrow and he's out of here.
Yeah, he
Well,
fished with a
and
bow and
then
arrow,
behind
and then
the
he was
tunnel.
cutting
That's
he was
right.
cutting out that dude's innards. And then it does show like a lot of clips from this movie, and then it ends with this really weird choppy thing of him like getting on a horse and riding away, presumably to
Yeah.
go get medical
It's a
assistance.
fucking like afterthought.
Maybe
Yeah,
he
it-
decided, you know what? I don't want to die. I have Maria still.
He said
don't
that
know.
oh no, he's not living for Maria.
Yeah, well, because when she was like, "Will I see you again?" He's like, yeah, sure."
Because he even
Probably.
said,
Well,
he's like, well,
I mean,
I'm
he
going to
said-
wander like
he
I
said
always
sure.
did.
Yeah, sure.
But I think because he says that he enjoes being a storyteller a lot more than being an actor. Acting
Yeah.
is a lot of
Well,
waiting
he has
around
said-
and moving stuff. You're wondering if he had fun doing this. I don't think he had fun filming it. I think he has fun writing it and creating it.
yeah, I just think they should let him die. It was
Yeah.
like it's the end. You know, he lost everything again, but he got his revenge and he's at peace and he dies and that's the end. And that's how I'm going to imagine it. He has said that there probably won't be a Rambo 6, but what he's looking into, which I'm sure will be trash, is
He's got an illegitimate child out
a
there.
prequel kind of thing about Rambo, like when he joins the military and stuff. Not with him, obviously.
No, even Disney can't de-age that face.
Oh.
We've
they
tried.
go and they hire some kid and they just punch him in the face a bunch so he talks like Rambo. He's just like,
Oh god! You know what? In my head, he died because what we see is him on that horse, 2 gunshot wounds, running off full speed.
Full speed.
I think he bled out.
you know
Had
what?
to have.
You're dead, dude.
Well, he also like sat on who knows how long he sat on the porch
Well, I better
before he
mosey
was
on
like
that
he was
dusty
like I gotta get
trail.
my fucking horse and go.
Well, it does have that weird dreamlike look, like the montage.
Maybe
so
he
maybe that's
did-
his like thought in his head as he's dying.
He's
is
going into the
riding
spirit
off into
world.
the sunset.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
There it
okay.
is. He
Although
is
I
half-
would,
he
I
is
would
half
like to,
Native
if I'm
American, half
imagining
German.
myself after I've died, I'd like to imagine my wounds aren't there anymore and I'm no longer bleeding. Because some of these, like the shoulder wound especially, is like when he puts his hand up to it, there's just blood
And then rips the
pouring
pain
out of
away?
it.
Yeah, he does rip the pain away.
There's a part where he
rips
like
the pain
rips his
away.
hand down, and that's
Grabs
yeah,
it.
that's what Jack said. He
Done
just
with that.
tore
I
the
don't
pain
feel
out.
it anymore. Tired of this shit.
But that's the end of that movie, and that's the end of that franchise, and that's the end of July.
For now.
Oh, yeah.
It's the end of the franchise.
No, I mean July's coming back next year.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say just like I always did with Crystal Skull. I was like, "What are you talking about?" There was 3 Indiana Jones movies. Now I have to acknowledge that the Crystal Skull existed because I have to acknowledge Dial of Destiny.
Yeah.
And Dial of Destiny would be really, really bad if it wasn't for Crystal Skull. So
So this was a happy birthday to Sylvester Stallone.
Yes,
Yeah.
July 6th.
July 6th, we've recorded all of these episodes before his
Before your
birthday,
birthday,
but these
yeah.
will be coming out after.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to me.
So Dirk and I definitely looked into it. Some more schlock and loads because July is a great month for schlock and loads, honestly.
Oh yeah.
You know who else's birthday is in July?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yep.
And
It is my birthday.
Jason Statham.
Yep.
Me?
It's my birthday.
Oh,
I don't know.
and
He's
Ben.
Yeah,
I mean-
Ben's birthday is coming up from today, 4 days.
I'm not a very famous actor, but it is
But you're a
coming
good
up.
one.
You're a good boy.
It's coming up.
Yeah,
Are you a
boy.
best boy?
You act happy
You're the
all
best
the time.
boy.
I pretend.
Acting.
But that's that, right? So
That is-
recommendations
Yeah,
around the.
So honestly, if you can sit through 4,
If you've already seen the other 4,
if you've already seen, just finish it. I mean, I watched all 5 of the. Well, now 4 because I didn't watch 3. And I'm happy I did. I really am. So I highly recommend. Just watch all 5 of them.
I recommend this one. I mean, we're coming in at an hour and 20 minutes if you turn
Yeah.
the credits off. That's so easy to get through. It does wrap up the trilogy, I think, pretty nicely. Or trilogy.
The saga.
It wraps up
the quintology.
the saga.
Quintology?
Yeah, the saga is I think what we would go with.
It wraps
these
up
days.
the saga well enough where I don't want to see another one.
No, I don't need to.
But I do get the progression where we got to here. And you know what? The last 30 minutes of this movie is banging.
Yes, it is.
And so for me, fully recommend, even if you're like Ben and you haven't seen the other 4, at least you got an hour and 20 minutes of, well, you get 30 minutes of action.
You get
Yeah.
the gist of Rambo.
Yeah, to
A
a
little
degree.
bit.
I don't think it's very Rambo-y though.
This is his least Rambo
Well, it's
role.
also like it's his most experienced version of himself.
well,
Yeah.
because he's John now. He's not Rambo.
Ben, recommendation?
I think it's good. I think it was like I got queasy at the end because it was a lot all at once.
So people that like good, gory slasher shit would
Yeah,
love
if
this.
you're like fine with watching everyone that Rambo hates die, then like it's perfect, you know?
Yeah, don't watch number 4.
Yeah,
I'm
but it's just
gonna-
like I was just so sick at the end. I was like, dude,
You did have to lay down for a minute.
that was separate, but like I think but
That
like,
was just the
but,
sleep.
like,
It
my
might have been
stomach-
related.
My stomach felt really bad after that, and then I went pee, and then it happened.
I'm gonna give it like the softest of recommendations, and qualifying it only with if you've seen the rest, you might as well watch this one.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm harder than that.
Dude,
I it was fine. It's I don't know. This and 3 are tied for my least favorite.
I'll
I think
echo that.
I think 3 might be slower. It takes just as long for the action to start in 3, but then once the action starts, it's start and stop, and like it's longer.
This one was
once
go,
the
go,
action
go.
starts, it starts. Like we paused it because some people came to the house. And it was like, oh, there's 20 minutes left, and the cartel just arrived, so there's 20 minutes of murder left.
Yeah.
Very similar to Rambo 4, where you stop it and you go, well, there's 30 minutes left, and he's at the top of this hill with this fucking 50 cal.
Oh,
so
I-
there's
I know
30
what we're
minutes
doing
of
from here
murder
on
left.
out.
Yeah, like or maybe less than 30, probably about 20 also. So I mean, it's a soft recommend, but I mean, why not? Fuck it. Especially like I said, if you've seen the rest,
yeah, if you're
why
gonna
not?
finish
Yeah.
it.
I will tell you right
Don't
now,
be
I
clear.
own this box set, and there's a solid chance I will never watch this movie again.
So if you want to purchase this,
I will definitely watch First Blood. I'll definitely watch Rambo 2. I'll probably watch Rambo 4. I don't know if I'll ever watch 3 or 5 again.
I will watch 1 through 5 again next year.
so happy birthday.
And just to touch on it, because we did all the other ones and give it a comparison, this movie cost $50 million. Estimate was about $30 million for advertising and whatnot, and it made 91.5. So not great.
50 million is not a bad budget for this movie, by the way.
You had to build so many tunnels.
It was the second best performing of the series for opening weekend.
Really?
It wasn't much. It was up against Ad Astra and
That movie was weird.
Downton Abbey movie,
Oh, God.
and it
That
finished
movie was so
third
weird.
behind both of those.
God.
But it made $19
Ooh.
million opening weekend, which makes it the second. It finished second in the series for its opening weekend.
Rambo 2 is the biggest.
Probably, yeah, I think that's probably right. Because we talked about how the first one was
The
it
sleeper.
only made like 7 million, but then it made 7 million, then it made 7 million, then it made
Yeah.
7 million, and like.
And 3 lost some money.
And another fun fact is David Morrell, whatever the guy that wrote First Blood, fucking hated this movie. Like he said when he left the theater. So when he saw 4, he mentioned that he's like, this is the most like my book, because the book was incredibly violent and he murdered a bunch of people.
Yeah.
This one, when he left, he's like, I felt like less of a human being when I walked out of the
Maybe
theater.
that's what you were feeling.
It was your
Yeah, it was
humanity
just like-
dying inside of you.
Yeah, it was just like
Humanity leaving
my
your
heart
body.
sinking.
You weak soul.
So going into August, we're gonna do called back to school specials. So it's movies with starring children's.
Yep.
Because even if there's a movie you go, I
Chitlins.
liked that movie when I was a kid. It was a good movie. Chances are it sucked because most movies starring children are stupid.
Yep.
So there's that. I think we're starting out with First Kid,
Ooh,
which
first
is
kids first.
which is a Jack special.
It's a Sinbad movie
Yes,
and worse people.
Sinbad movies. Shazam people. So that'll be that. So don't forget to check out Evasion on all their social medias and whatnot, and buy their music on Bandcamp. Check out, go to badmoviesworstpeople.com, click the big blue t-shirt, buy some shirts, follow us on all our social media. It's Bad Movies Worst People, except on Twitter, it's BMWP Podcast, because I couldn't fit Bad Movies Worst People.
Thanks a lot, Twitter.
Yeah,
Fucking
character.
Elon's
They've
America.
always
Yeah.
been around.
Yeah, thanks, Elon. But yeah, and if you go to Harbottle and mention you listen to the podcast, you get $1 off your beers, or a beer.
You know what?
First pint.
You tell me. Do you want just your first pint?
I don't want $1 off my second beer. That's horrendous.
No, thank you. I've saved enough money on alcohol tonight.
Come visit me. I bartend every Thursday and Friday.
Thank you guys. I've been Derek.
I'm always Whitney.
I'm Jack.
I'm still Ben. After
Good
all
night,
this.
and go fuck yourself.